Calabria. Diepte gezocht bij Castellejo. Milan, maar de voorzet van Calabria. Dijks haalt weg. Daardoor hier wellicht de mogelijkheid aan Milan. Çalhanoğlu kijkt. Maar op 5 na. Meest gepasseerd. Redelijk complementair. Maar het was wel een goed tandempje vorig jaar. Eindelijk ook en nog een keer Ibra, nog een keer. Oh, lekker Ibra. Oh. Wat is dit een fantastische actie. 12e minuut. Ibrahimovic. Hier. Hernandez. Nou, Çalhanoğlu kan uithalen. Tweede mogelijkheid voor Milan. Althans om het doel onder vuur te nemen van... Pakken ze de bal op het middenveld af en meteen is het gevaarlijk. Ibrahimovic. Çalhanoğlu is het niet. Dan kan Rebic het afmaken. Ja, is het wel. Laat gefloten. Solini, beter gezegd. En dan weer in positie, Rebic. Dat is de kaart, denk ik. Ja, voor Dominguez. Çalhanoğlu. Richting Kier. Geen slechte bal hoor dit. Heeft er wel heel mooi bij de tweede paal neer. En een end schot denk ik. Nee. Nu dan Dominguez. Ja. Maar daar komen via Rebic en natuurlijk Ibra. Adriano. Aan de zijkant die bal. Maar het duurt veel te lang. Schouten haalt weg. Dit is een kans voor Rebic. Oh, die legt hem af. Dat was niet zo onaardig bedacht van Ante Rebic. Gabia stond helemaal... Kijk, zie raakt zijn lichaam goed. Echt een kansie. Kessie. Rebic. Nu komt Ibra. Oh. De bal nog bijna voor de voeten van Ismaël Benacer. Soriano. Wilde ik zeggen, zou wel eens iets op kunnen leveren voor een gele kaart voor meer dan dat. Hij begraaft hem bijna. Het is een goede bal, daar komt Ibrahimovic. Oh, wat een goede goal zeg. Wat een geweldige goal van Zlatan. Wat is die nog goed. Wat is die nog goed. De uitjes doen het toch prima in de Serie A. Gisteravond Ronaldo en nu vanavond weer Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 133 goals totaal in de Serie A. Krijgt hij ook nog even mee. Als zijn eerste dit seizoen. Na dus al 10 vorig jaar te hebben gemaakt. Vorig seizoen. Nu Hernandez ziet het. En dan timet hij beter dan iedereen. Danilo loopt achteruit. Nog dus weer een wedstrijd dan tegen de Noorse kampioen. Zelf naar het achterlijn, dat is niet slecht. Die is er bij de tweede paal. Daar is bij. Çalhanoğlu kan die uithalen. Dat kan.
Очень долгая, затяжная. Там надо, конечно, еще посчитать, как репетицию старта серии А. Ну, практически такой же был. Ясноглазый Федерико Лапенна дает свисток. Внимание, Дейкс, прострел, и вот Салимакерс входит в эту игру, катит на Златана, можно делать счет. Там уже мозоль натер подавать. Еще один навес. С социальной дистанции. То есть без каких-то контактов, прессинга и так далее. Здесь нарушение правил и еще один стандарт. Вот 3 подряд стандарта. 2 угловых, и все это притекло еще и в штрафной. Смотрим, что было. Итак, Златан Ибрагимович 2-0. Без шанса. Золотой ты наш Златан. 38 лет. 3 гола за 1,5, по сути. Это резонанс, а не какие-то верные решения. Ладно. Схема, которую... Ну, вообще, чаще всего по ходу своей переиграл крупно соперник. Здесь, внимание, удар от... забил. Был и другой пенальти, реализованный Сансоном. Внимание, пас. Ибра. Обратный пас будет. Нет, он решается на удар. И удар такой неприятный для Скорубского. Немножко по дуге воротами Бэрроу и Паласио. Хорошая игра. Касание. Смотрите, как Калабрия сегодня старается. Под обратную передачу и получает ее. И Скорубский. Офсайд. Но как же красиво они... Он вообще начинал на юношеском уровне как центральный полузащитник. Вот сразу вперед. Кер. Хороший подача от Чалхан-Оглу. Стоящий тренера, мне кажется, слова. Очень важные для тренера. Катит мяч на партнера. И здесь серия обманных движений. Катит мяч на Златана. Златан идет за хэт-триком. Мимо ворот. Как же так? Смотрим и так далее. Там не все патроны там в кобуре надо. И удар Бэрроу. Сыграл, пускай рискованно. Бэрроу. Бэрроу классную делает. Уже вступать в игру Пиоль. Менять ее немножечко. Опытный защитник. Бенасер. У него есть подача. И Калаб. Это очень интересно. Благодаря Суса, Силве. Толчок. Опять Дейкс. Опасно. Ну, скоро должен Романьоли. Ну, вот пока что это симпатичная команда из Болоньи не может. Сансона, наверное, в меньшей степени. Внимание. И нарушение правил. Желтая карточка. Кисе. Златан. Он на фланге. Внешней стороны стоп. Мяч не долетает до Ибры, который спрятался за спиной. И дальний удар. Ух. Тео. Матчи в Лиге Европы. Бенасер с левой ноги подает. Значит, классная команда. Хороший пас в сторону Салемакерса. Вот здесь уже Тами. Ух ты, шанс какой! И может забивать Болонья. Но Донарума наконец-то в игре. Джиджи. 10 минут. Подача от Бэрроу. И здорово.
Buonasera. Hele goede avond, dames en heren. Die zullen er overigens niet bij zijn in de basis. 12 duels, 9 overwinningen, 3 gelijke spelen. We zijn dus bezig het hoofdtoernooi te bereiken. Het slechtste eraan toe, maar misschien daarom ook wel. En heeft dus deze twee mensen erbij gehaald die nu nog even op de Bijlovic. U kent allemaal zijn verhaal vorig jaar. Getroffen door acute... Als hij in naam van Mihailovic zou eigenlijk vertrekken, want Ranjik zou komen, Ranjik, maar het was Mihailovic die ook een jaartje trainer was bij Milan in de eerste wedstrijd van dit seizoen 2021 op weg. Rico La Peña, 37-jarige Romein. Nog de Braziliaan Danilo, die heel veel met Zlatan te maken grappen. Een blok daar zo. En de kans wellicht, sterker nog, dat is bijna het doelpunt van Soriano. Silvestri speelt de bal. Rebic lijkt er iets meer van te willen maken, maar scoorde uiteindelijk Calabria. Diepte gezocht bij Castillejo. Milan, maar de voorzet van Calabria. Dijks haalt weg. Daardoor hier wellicht de mogelijkheid aan Milan. Çalhanoğlu kijkt. Maar 5 na. Meest gepasseerd. Redelijk complementair. Maar het was wel een goed tandempje vorig jaar. Eindelijk ook en nog een keer, Ibra, nog een keer. Oh, lekker Ibra. Oh. Wat is dit een fantastische actie. 12e minuut. Ibrahimovic. Hier. Hernandez. Nou, Çalhanoğlu kan uithalen. Tweede mogelijkheid voor Milan. Althans om het doel onder vuur te nemen van... Dan pakken ze de bal op het middenveld af en meteen is het gevaarlijk. Ibrahimovic. Çalhanoğlu is het niet. Dan kan Rebic het afmaken. Ja, is het wel. Had gefloten. Solini, beter gezegd. En dan weer in positie, Rebic. Dat is de kaart, denk ik. Ja, voor Dominguez. Arno. Richting Kier. Het is geen slechte bal hoor, dit. Heeft er wel heel mooi bij de tweede paal neer. En een end schot, denk ik. Nee. Nu dan, Dominguez. Ja. Maar daar komen via Rebic en natuurlijk Ibra. Adriano. Aan de zijkant die bal, maar het duurt veel te lang. Schouten haalt weg. Dit is een kans voor Rebic. Oh, die legt hem af. Dat was niet zo onaardig bedacht van Ante Rebic. Gabia stond helemaal... Kijk, zie ik zijn lichaam goed. Echt een kans in. Kessie. Rebic. Komt Ibra. Oh. De bal nog bijna voor de voeten van Ismaël Benacer. En Soriano. Wilde ik zeggen, zou wel eens iets op kunnen leveren voor... Gele kaart voor... meer dan dat, hij begraaft hem bijna. Het is een goede bal, daar komt Ibrahimovic. Oh, wat een goede goal zeg. Wat een geweldige goal van Zlatan. Wat is die nog goed. Wat is die nog goed. De uitjes doen het toch prima in de Serie A. Gisteravond Ronaldo en nu vanavond weer Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 133 goals totaal in de Serie A. Krijgt hij ook nog even mee. Als een eerste dit seizoen. Na dus er al 10 vorig jaar te hebben gemaakt. Vorig seizoen. Nu. Hernandez ziet het. En dan timet hij beter dan iedereen. Danilo loopt achteruit. Dat was dus weer een wedstrijd dan tegen de Noorse kampioen. Vanzelf naar de achterlijn, dat is niet slecht. Wie is er bij de tweede paal? Daar is bij. Nu kan die uithalen. Dat kan.
Очень долгая, затяжная. Там надо, конечно, еще посчитать, как репетицию старта серии А. Практически такой же был. Ясноглазый Федерико Лапенна дает свисток. Внимание, Дейкс, прострел, и вот Салемакерс входит в эту игру, катит на Златана, можно делать счет. Там уже мозоль натер, подавать еще один навес, брать с социальной дистанции, то есть без каких-то контактов, прессинга и так далее. Здесь нарушение правил и еще один стандарт, вот 3 подряд стандарта, 2 угловых, и все это притекло еще и в штрафной. Смотрим, что было. Итак, Златан Ибрагимович, 2-0, без шанса. Золотой ты наш Златан. 38 лет. 3 гола за 1,5, по сути. Это резонанс, а не какие-то верные решения. Схема, которую... Ну, вообще, чаще всего по ходу своей... Переиграл крупно соперник. Здесь, внимание, удар от забил. Был и другой пенальти, реализованный Сансоном. Внимание, пас в сторону. Ибра. Обратный пас будет. Нет, он решается на удар. И удар такой неприятный для Скорубского. Немножко по дуге. Бородами Бэрроу и Паласио. Хорошая игра. Касание. Посмотрите, как Калабрия сегодня старается. Под обратную передачу и получает ее. И Скорубский. Офсайд. Но как же красиво они... Он вообще начинал там, на юношеском уровне как центральный полузащитник. Вот сразу вперед. Кьер. Хороший подача от Чалхана Аглу. Стоящий тренера, мне кажется, слова. Очень важные для тренера. Катит мяч на партнера. И здесь серия обманных движений. Катит мяч на Златана. Златан идет за хэт-триком. Мимо ворот. Как же так? Смотрим и так далее. Там не все патроны там в кобуре надо. И удар Бэрроу. Сыграл, пускай рискованно. Бэрроу. Бэрроу классную делает. Уже вступать в игру вперед. Менять ее немножечко. Опытный защитник. Бенасер, у него есть подача и Калаб. Это очень интересно. Благодаря Силве. Толчок.
Ma come gioca?
Опять DX. Опасно. Ну, скоро должен Романьоли. Ну, вот пока что это симпатичная команда из Болоньи не может. Сансон, наверное, в меньшей степени. Внимание. И нарушение правил. Желтая карточка. Кисе. Златан. Он на фланге. Внешней стороны стопа. Мяч не долетает до Ибры, который спрятался за спиной. И дальний удар. Ух. Тео. Матчи в Лиге Европы. Бенассер с левой ноги подает. Значит, классная команда. Хороший пас в сторону Салемакерса. Вот здесь уже ты... Ух ты, шанс какой! И может забивать Болонья! Но Доннарума наконец-то в игре. Джиджи. 10 минут. Подача Бэрроу. И здорово.
Buonasera. Hele goede avond, dames en heren. Die zullen er overigens niet bij zijn in de basis. 12 duels, 9 overwinningen, 3 gelijke spelen. We zijn dus bezig het hoofdtoernooi te bereiken. Het slechtste eraan toe, maar misschien daarom ook wel. En heeft dus deze twee mensen erbij gehaald die nu nog even op de Buidewiets. U kent allemaal zijn verhaal vorig jaar. Getroffen door acute... Als hij in naam van Mihailovic zou eigenlijk vertrekken, want Ranjik zou komen, Ranjik, maar Mihailovic die ook een jaartje trainer was bij Milan in de eerste wedstrijd van dit seizoen 2021 op weg. Rico La Peña, 37-jarige Romein. Nog de Braziliaan Danilo, die heel veel met Zlatan te maken grappen. Het blok daar zo. En de kans wellicht, sterker nog, dat is bijna het doelpunt van Soriano. Silvestri speelt de bal. Rebic lijkt er iets meer van te willen maken, maar scoorde uiteindelijk Calabria. Diepte gezocht bij Castillejo. Milan, maar de voorzet van Calabria. Dijks haalt weg. Daardoor hier wellicht de mogelijkheid aan Milan. Canoglu kijkt. Maar 5 na. Hij is gepasseerd. Redelijk complementair. Maar het was wel een goed tandempje vorig jaar. Eindelijk ook en nog een keer Ibra, nog een keer. Oh, lekker Ibra. Oh, wat is dit een fantastische actie. 12e minuut. Ibrahimovic. Hier. Hernandez. Nou, Canoglu kan uithalen. Tweede mogelijkheid voor Milan. Althans om het doel onder vuur te nemen van... Dan pakken ze de bal op het middenveld af en meteen is het gevaarlijk. Ibrahimovic. Canoglu is het niet. Dan kan Rebic het afmaken. Ja, is het wel. Laat gefloten. Solino. Solini, beter gezegd. En dan weer in positie. Rebic. Dat is de kaart, denk ik. Ja, voor Dominguez. Canoglu. Richting Kier. Geen slechte bal hoor dit. Zit daar heel mooi bij de tweede paal neer. En een end schot denk ik. Nee. Nu dan Dominguez. Ja. Maar daar komen via Rebic en natuurlijk Ibra. Briano. Aan de zijkant die bal, maar het duurt veel te lang. Schouten haalt weg. Dit is een kans voor Rebic. Oh, die legt hem af. Dat was niet zo onaardig bedacht van Ante Rebic. Gabia stond helemaal... Kijk, gebruikt zijn lichaam goed. Echt een kans in. Kessie. Rebic. Nu komt Ibra. Oh. De bal nog bijna voor de voeten van Ismaël Benacer. En Soriano. Wilde ik zeggen, zou wel eens iets op kunnen leveren voor Gele kaart voor meer dan dat. Hij begraaft hem bijna. Het is een goede bal. Daar komt Ibrahimovic. Oh, wat een goede goal zeg. Wat een geweldige goal van Zlatan. Wat is die nog goed. Wat is die nog goed. De uitjes doen het toch prima in de Serie A. Gisteravond Ronaldo en nu vanavond weer Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 133 goals totaal in de Serie A. Krijgt hij ook nog even mee. Als een eerste dit seizoen. Na dus al 10 vorig jaar te hebben gemaakt, vorig seizoen. Nu Hernandez ziet het. En dan timet hij beter dan iedereen. Danilo loopt achteruit. Er was dus weer een wedstrijd dan tegen de Noorse kampioen. Vanzelf aan het achterlijn, dat is niet slecht. Wie is er bij de tweede paal? Daar is bij. Ну, kan die uithalen. Dat kan.
Очень долгая, затяжная. Там надо, конечно, еще посчитать, как репетицию старта серии А. Ну, практически такой же был. Ясноглазый Федерико Лапенна дает свисток. Внимание. Дейкс, прострел. И вот Салемакерс входит в эту игру. Катит на Златана. Можно делать что там уже. Мозоль натер подавать. Еще один навес. Брать с социальной дистанции. То есть без каких-то контактов, прессинга и так далее. Здесь нарушение правил и еще один стандарт. Вот 3 подряд стандарта. 2 угловых. И все это притекло еще и в штрафной. Смотрим, что было. Итак, Златан Ибрагимович. 2-0. Без шанса. Золотой ты наш Златан. 38 лет. 3 гола за 1,5. По сути, это резонанс, а не какие-то верные решения. Ладно. Схема, которую, ну, вообще чаще всего по ходу своей переиграл крупно соперник. Здесь, внимание, удар от забил. Был и другой пенальти, реализованный Сансон. Внимание, пас в сторону Ибра. Обратный пас будет. Нет, он решается на удар. И удар такой неприятный для Скорубского. Немножко по дуге. Воротами Бэрроу и Паласио. Хорошая игра. Касание. Смотрите, как Калабрия сегодня старается. Под обратную передачу и получает ее. И Скорубский. Офсайд. Но как же красиво они... Он вообще начинал на юношеском уровне как центральный полузащитник. Вот сразу вперед. Кьер. Хороший подача от Чалханоглу. Стоящий тренера, мне кажется, слова. Очень важный для тренера. Катит мяч на партнера. И здесь серия обманных движений. Катит мяч на Златана! Златан идет за хэт-триком! Мимо ворот! Как же так? Смотрим и так далее. Там не все патроны там в кобуре надо. И удар Бэрроу. Сыграл, пускай рискованно. Бэрроу. Бэрроу классную делает. Уже вступать в игру Пиоль. Менять ее немножечко. Опытный защитник. Бенасер. У него есть подача. И Калаб. Это очень интересно. Благодаря Суса, Силве. Толчок. Опять Дейкс. Опасно. Ну, скоро должен Романьоли. Ну, вот пока что это симпатичная команда из Болоньи не может. Сансона, наверное, в меньшей степени. Внимание. И нарушение правил. Желтая карточка. Кисе. Златан. Он на фланге. Внешней стороны стоп. Мяч не долетает до Ибры, который спрятался за спиной. И дальний удар. Ух. Тео. Матчи в Лиге Европы. Бенасер с левой ноги подает. Значит, классная команда. Хороший пас в сторону Салемакерса. Вот здесь уже Тами. Ух ты, шанс какой! И может забивать Болонья. Но Доннарума наконец-то в игре. Джиджи. 10 минут. Подача от Бэрроу. И здорово.
Buonasera. Hele goede avond, dames en heren. Die zullen er overigens niet bij zijn in de basis. 12 duels, 9 overwinningen, 3 gelijke spelen. We zijn dus bezig het hoofdtoernooi te bereiken. Het slechtste eraan toe, maar misschien daarom ook wel. En heeft dus deze 2 mensen erbij gehaald die nu nog even op de Bujlovic. U kent allemaal zijn verhaal vorig jaar. Getroffen door acute. Als hij in naam van Mihailovic. zou eigenlijk vertrekken, want Ranjik zou komen, Ranjik, maar het werd al Vismjalovic, die ook een jaartje trainer was bij Milan in de eerste wedstrijd van dit seizoen 2021 op weg. Rico La Peña, 37-jarige Romein. Nog de Braziliaan Danilo, die heel veel met Zlatan te maken grappen. Het blok daar zo. En de kans wellicht, sterker nog, dat is bijna het doelpunt van Soriano. Silvestri speelt de bal. Rebic lijkt er iets meer van te willen maken, maar scoorde uiteindelijk Calabria. Diepte gezocht bij Castillejo. Milan, maar de voorzet van Calabria. Dijks haalt weg. Daardoor hier wellicht de mogelijkheid aan Milan. Çalhanoğlu kijkt. Maar op 5 na. Meest gepasseerd. Redelijk complementair. Maar het was wel een goed tandempje vorig jaar. Eindelijk ook en nog een keer, Ibra, nog een keer. Oh, lekker Ibra. Oh. Wat is dit een fantastische actie. 12e minuut. Ibrahimovic. Hier. Hernandez. Nou, Çalhanoğlu kan uithalen. Tweede mogelijkheid voor Milan. Althans om het doel onder vuur te nemen van... Dan pakken ze de bal op het middenveld af en meteen is het gevaarlijk. Ibrahimovic. Çalhanoğlu is het niet. Dan kan Rebic het afmaken. Ja, is het wel. Had gefloten. Solino. Solini, beter gezegd. En dan weer in positie. Rebic. Eerste kaart denk ik. Ja, voor Dominguez. Çalhanoğlu. Richting Kier. Geen slechte bal hoor dit. Heeft er daar heel mooi bij de tweede paal neer. En een end schot denk ik. Nee. Nu dan Dominguez. Ja. Maar daar komen via Rebic en natuurlijk Ibra. Adriano. Aan de zijkant die bal. Maar het duurt veel te lang. Schouten haalt weg. Dit is een kans voor Rebic. Oh, die legt hem af. Dat was niet zo onaardig bedacht van Ante Rebic. Gabia stond helemaal... Kijk, zie je zijn lichaam goed. Echt een kans in. Kessie. Rebic. Komt Ibra. Oh. De bal nog bijna voor de voeten van Ismaël Benacer. Soriano. Wilde ik zeggen, zou wel eens iets op kunnen leveren voor een gele kaart voor meer dan dat. Hij begraaft hem bijna. Het is een goede bal, daar komt Ibrahimovic. Oh, wat een goede goal zeg. Wat een geweldige goal van Zlatan. Wat is die nog goed. Wat is die nog goed. De uitjes doen het toch prima in de Serie A. Gisteravond Ronaldo en nu vanavond weer Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 133 goals totaal in de Serie A. Krijgt hij ook nog even mee. Als een eerste dit seizoen. Na dus er al 10 vorig jaar te hebben gemaakt. Vorig seizoen. Nu. Hernandez ziet het. En dan timet hij beter dan iedereen. Danilo loopt achteruit. Dat was dus weer een wedstrijd dan tegen de Noorse kampioen. Vanzelf naar de achterlijn, dat is niet slecht. Die is er bij de tweede paal. Daar is bij. Çalhanoğlu kan die uithalen. Dat kan.
Очень долгая, затяжная. Там надо, конечно, еще почли как репетицию старта серии А. Ну, практически такой же был. Ясноглазый Федерико Ла Пенна дает свисток. Внимание, Дейкс, прострел, и вот Салемакерс входит в эту игру, катит на Златана, можно делать что там уже, мозоль натер подавать. Еще один навес. Играть с социальной дистанции. То есть без каких-то контактов, прессинга и так далее. Здесь нарушение правил и еще один стандарт. Вот 3 подряд стандарта. 2 угловых. И все это притекло еще и в штрафной. Смотрим, что было. Итак, Златан Ибрагимович. 2-0. Без шанса. Золотой ты наш Златан. 38 лет. 3 гола за 1,5, по сути. Это резонанс, а не какие-то верные решения. Ладно. Схема, которую, ну, вообще чаще всего по ходу своей переиграл крупно соперник. Здесь, внимание, удар от забил. Был и другой пенальти, реализованный Сансоном. Внимание, пас в сторону. Ибра. Обратный пас будет. Нет, он решается на удар. И удар такой неприятный для Скорубского. Немножко по дуге. Бородами Бэрроу и Паласио. Хорошая игра. Касание. Смотрите, как Калабрия сегодня старается. Под обратную передачу и получает ее. И Скорубский. Офсайд. Но как же красиво они... Он вообще начинал на юношеском уровне как центральный полузащитник. Вот сразу вперед. Кер. Хороший пас. Подача от Чалхана Аглу. Стоящий тренера, мне кажется, слова. Очень важный для тренера. Катит мяч на партнера. И здесь серия обманных движений. Катит мяч на Златана. Златан идет за хэт-триком. Мимо ворот. Как же так? Смотрим и так далее. Там не все патроны там в кобуре надо. И удар Бэрроу. Сыграл, пускай рискованно. Бэрроу. Бэрроу классную делает. Уже вступать в игру Пиоли. Менять ее немножечко. Опытный защитник. Бенасер. У него есть подача. И Калаб. Это очень интересно. Благодаря Суса, Силве. Толчок. Опять Дейкс. Опасно. Ну, скоро должен Романьоли. Ну, вот пока что это симпатичная команда из Болони не может. Сансона, наверное, в меньшей степени. Внимание. И нарушение правил. Желтая карточка. Кисе. Златан. Он на фланге. Внешней стороны стоп. Мяч не долетает до Ибры, который спрятался за спиной. И дальний удар. Ух. Тео. Матчи в Лиге Европы. Бенасер с левой ноги подает. Значит, классная команда. Хороший пас в сторону Салимакерс.
Well, Mihailovic looking to bolster Bologna's defence in this January window. And there's a man more than anybody else who they're looking to try and keep out. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who scored both goals on the opening day of the season when Milan were 2-0 winners at the Miazza. 2 points the gap at the top of the table at the moment for Milan over their great rivals Inter. Inter playing later on today in the evening match against Benevento. And we're almost ready to go. It's an outstanding away record that Milan have so far this season. A shrill blow on Daniele Doveri's whistle, and the match is underway. And Milan playing in their change strip. First touch for Tomori, who played well on Tuesday, didn't he, when he came on 20-odd minutes into that Coppa Italia tie against Inter. I mean, pretty big game to come into for your debut for your new club.
Well, he's a good player. I think he reads danger quite well. He's a good athlete as well. Can play out with the ball. Certainly did that at Derby County when he was on loan there.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Didn't see much action for Chelsea this season at all, as Milan looked to burst forward up towards the edge of the penalty area, but tidied up at the back. Tomori only making 4 appearances for Chelsea this season. He made 22 last season, so very much on the outside looking in under the now former coach Frank Lampard, a player who a coach who took him to Derby on loan a couple of years ago, as Stuart was just saying. As a first touch for Ibrahimovic, and Dykes puts the ball out of play. He saw red, quite literally, the last time the two teams met. Bologna finishing the match with 10 players, and they have some defending to do here early on. Calabria, a good distance on that throw, and Mitchell Dykes, the Dutch defender, not taking any chances there. Scooping it away before Skorupski could get anywhere near the ball. Here's Sansone. Nice inventive little touch, finding Dominguez, who in turn picks out Roberto Soriano. His half-dozen goals make him Bologna's top scorer so far this season. And that's nicely played as Tomiyasu moves forward down the far side, and he's done really well here. Tomiyasu sends it into the box. Ball breaks loose, and there was very nearly a chance there for Sansone with less than 2 minutes played.
Well, good play from Bologna, switching it from this near side out to that far side, and a good cross into the box. And it looked as though Tomori just about did enough.
We've got 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, which they'll have to do something about, but Takehiro Tomiyasu did really well here.
And he just delivers a ball into a very dangerous area. And Sansone from the left-hand side was attacking it.
Well, that was a bright, inventive play from Bologna early in this match as they look for their 5th home win of the season. Beat Verona by a goal to 0 in the last home match, but it is the only game they've won in the last 10 over the last couple of months. Gianluigi Donnarumma back between the sticks today. He was suspended from the cup game with Inter during the week, and Ciprian Tatarusanu played really well actually in that game, but the Romanian international predictably back on the bench for this one. Lovely feet there from Schouten in the heart of the midfield for Bologna.
I thought he played well last week against Juventus. He was a bit unlucky. He deflected the first goal past his goalkeeper for Juventus, but he was their outstanding player in midfield.
That was Sumaoro, the number 5 for Bologna. He played 45 minutes off the bench against the Juve last weekend for his debut for the club. They got him on loan for the rest of the season from Lille. Hadn't been playing too much for them, but he's certainly got an experienced figure alongside him today in Danilo. Here he is, the Brazilian. Get themselves in a spot of bother at the back here potentially as Rebic rolls it into the penalty area, but tidied up and cleared by Dominguez. Ball breaks loose and Tonali can't pick it up. Schouten a little bit short there towards Sansone. And Rebic sees it bounce out over on the far side. There was a little bit of an injury scare, wasn't there, Stuart, 20 minutes before the kick-off for Bologna with Nicolas Dominguez?
Yeah, they were playing a little keep ball, 5-a-side game, and Dominguez got caught by Soriano in the back of his hamstring. Had some treatment. It looks like he might not carry on, but he's out there at the moment.
Well, his left leg was absolutely swimming in magic spray, so it must have been about 3/4 of a can emptied on his leg, but it's obviously done the trick because he's out there now as Dykes comes forward. Not for long. A little bit of space in midfield now for Milan to venture forward. Collected on the near side by Salamakis. Now it's with Davide Calabria and Tonali. There was a bit of a doubt about him, but pronounced fit to play, having overcome a knock. Rafael Leao into Tonali. Here's Calabria. Short with that pass, and Tomori had to be quick to step in and make sure that Bologna weren't able to break.
Yeah, Mihailovic not happy with the decision here.
It was a pretty decent game actually, this one last season, which Milan won by 3-2. But here come the home side again. It was Riccardo Orsolini on the far side. Flag has gone up though.
Yeah, all the Milan defenders put their arms up when that ball was first played out for offside. But the assistant took a little time, as he's advised to do. 1v1 against Theo Hernandez. Orsolini will fancy his chances. Hernandez is great going forward, not quite so good defensively.
Collected by Fikayo Tomori. Donnarumma, who, as usual, has taken some getting past in the league this season. 7 clean sheets in his 18 league appearances. 2 of them are coming in the last 3 before today. And Romagnoli.
ma si può?
Ah, questo?
Here's Tomori. Ibrahimovic sending it towards Calabria, who got in ahead of Dykes. Lovely little layoff from Rebic. And Rafael Leao couldn't quite get it out from underneath his feet. Didn't come down quickly enough for him, perhaps.
Well, there's a great example of Ibrahimovic coming short as we look at the Italian manager. Ibrahimovic comes short, three other players, including the right back. Calabria run beyond him, and that was a chance for Leao.
Danilo sending it forward, looking for Dykes. Back with Milan once again, who've been outstanding on the road. 8 wins and 1 draw from their 9 matches.
Tutte e due giù a braccia larghe, tutti a protestare per un calcio di punizione che Doveri ha concesso al Bologna. Barro passa sul pallone, Orsolini lo butta in area di rigore, lo butta anche oltre l'area di rigore, lo butta e basta. Rimessa dal fondo per Gianluigi Donnarumma, pronto a rimettere in moto il Milan. Non perde in trasferta dalla famosa gara di Bergamo, le sconfitte sono arrivate tutte in casa, quella con la Juve, quella con l'Atalanta, quella con Lille. In questo anno da favola per la squadra di Stefano Pioli. 19 partite in gol, 19 partite senza perdere lontano da San Siro. Ovviamente ha perso in trasferta tecnicamente contro l'Inter, ma lontano da San Siro appunto, senza gol e senza punti dall'Atleti Azzurri d'Italia o Gavi Stadium contro l'Atalanta in quel 5-0 del 2019. Arriva come un treno Teo Hernandez, cerca una palla dentro fantastica per Ibra, chiuso però molto bene da Somauro, che lo costringe ad allargarsi prima che Tomiasu spazzi via. Giro
penalty area, and Bologna's To Ibrahimovic, Sumauro watched him all the way and did enough to halt Milan's advance.
Making those runs down the right-hand side.
Here's Mitchell Dykes collecting it, trying to combine with Sansone. Dykes with a lovely little nutmeg on Salamakers. He continues to battle away.
There's a jump into the tackle from Dykes. That's what the referee didn't like. Here's that free kick again. Just about gets his fingertips onto that one, the goalkeeper.
He really was hanging on by his fingertips there, wasn't he? Good job too from Skorupski.
Well, he started to come for the first ball. He's off his line as well. Theo Hernandez, whatever he says, was actually trying to cross it into the box rather than scoring.
Sandro Tonali down after a heavy challenge. Down with two players on the ground at the moment. Referee blowing for the first one for this challenge by Sansone.
He's got every right to go for the ball. It's the follow-through from Tonali that catches Sansone. Just one or two of the Milan players are getting a bit frustrated with Tomori when he's got the ball at the back. Salamakers made a run for him. Ibrahimovic wanted it played into his feet, and Tomori's turned away and gone back to his goalkeeper on 2 or 3 occasions.
Found Ibrahimovic this time. Leao into Kessie. Kessie escaping the close attentions of Soriano. Salamakers just trying to roll the ball back in to Hernandez, and now a chance for Bologna to break. It's Nicola Sansone. Tidied up by Tonali. Calabria. .15 in, and the Theo Hernandez free kick, which rattled the crossbar via the fingertips of Skorupski, the closest we've come to a goal so far. Little flurry in the Milan penalty area from Bologna in the opening couple of minutes of the game, but that's it. And Donnarumma's had nothing to do so far. Calabria will chase, but he won't get there.
Yeah, Kessie's got a lot of attributes. I'm not sure big diagonal passes is one of them. Calabria loves to get forward down this right-hand side. It's been given a new lease of life under Pioli.
It's been a remarkable rise again, hasn't it, for Milan in the time that Pioli's been at the club. But a real test coming up now in the second half of the season. Scouten. There's Moussa Barrow, and it's comfortable for Calabria. Back to Donnarumma. Moussa Barrow up front for Bologna, for Mihailovic's team. Hasn't had a sniff so far.
Calabria was given his chance as a very young player. I think only 17. Even younger when Mihailovic was the manager of Milan.
It was one of the real positives that Mihailovic is remembered for during his time at Milan, isn't it? The opportunities that he afforded Donnarumma, as you say, was very young, just 16 at the time. He was coached from August 2015 until he was dismissed in April of 2016. And Stefano Pioli, now of course in the Milan dugout, previously Bologna's coach from October 2011 until January of 2014. There's Mandzukic. That could be a handy addition to bring off the bench from time to time, do you not think, as the season wears on?
Well, it depends how fit and how motivated he is, because I always thought when he was at Juventus, whether he played at centre-forward or on the left-hand side, he was an excellent player for them. Dismissed rather too quickly by Sarri.
Definitely kept on by Jurdi Scouten there. Barrow chasing, Kessie taking it off his toes and having done the hard part, shanking it rather horribly. Barrow held up by Tomori, who is then fouled. Yeah, just to get back very briefly to Mario Mandzukic, he'd been playing in Qatar for a little while, hadn't he, with Al Duhail last year. He left there in the summer, last summer in July, and signed earlier this month as a free agent. So as you say, Stuart, it'd be interesting to see his level of fitness between now and the rest of the season. Came on for 20 minutes last weekend.
Yeah, because the only reason he left Serie A before was probably because Juventus thought he wasn't quite the athlete that he once was. I don't think he's going to be any fitter over the last year or so.
He seems as fit as he ever was, though, doesn't he, Ibrahimovic? 39, scored 12 goals in 9 matches in the league so far this season. Mitchell Dykes with the throw. Was looking for Dominguez in the heart of the midfield, collected by Sansone, away to Tomiyasu. It's a long old chase for Orsolini. Makes a good fist of it against Hernandez, Kessie, Romagnoli. Barrow loitering nearby and blocking off the path back to the goalkeeper. Collected by Schouten. Salamakers and Leao combining to win it back for Milan now. Sumaoro trying to keep tabs on Ibrahimovic, hasn't quite managed it. A collision between the three of them. Skorupski comes up with the ball. Milan shout for a penalty. But 19 minutes in, Bologna keen to just get on with the game.
Well, watch the movement of Ibrahimovic. You can't quite see him in the pitch. Look how he's working the defender. Comes back across him. He gets there first. There's no foul there at all. It's good goalkeeping. And in the end, just about good enough defending. Smauro.
Certainly a few raised voices after that, livening things up, and Barrow can't find his teammate Dominguez, who'd made the run up to the edge of the penalty area.
What an example of movement that was from Ibrahimovic. Just working the defender all the time, and that made Leao's mind up to play that pass.
You could just see it so clearly, couldn't you, as they were running up to the edge of the penalty area. Sumaoro doing everything he could, but being turned this way and that as they raced up towards the box. Kessie initially with the block there, and then Rafael Leao, the second one, before the whistle blows.
Leao sees the pass as well. Just couldn't get enough on it. If he gets it past... almost square, but it's a good challenge by the goalkeeper. And the referee's absolutely right not to give the penalty. Excellent from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's done well in the first half with that stop there and the fingertips onto the crossbar, even though you could argue that maybe he contributed to that slightly, as Tomori sends it in, collected by Rebic, away via Leao. Ibrahimovic on the left-hand angle of the penalty area here, and Schouten able to tidy up, but the clearance is a poor one. Kessie collects, looking for the run being made by Rebic over on the far side. This is Barrow. Orsolini having to check back to get his feet to that one. Schouten away from Tonali, or he would have been without the arm holding him back, but it was right under the referee's nose.
In the end, it's not a good first touch. Tonali's trying to close him down. Certainly been involved in the first 21 minutes. Schouten.
Yeah, the 24-year-old Dutchman. They signed from Excelsior in 2019. As Tomori gets in ahead of Dominguez. Rebic collects. Hernandez goes hurtling ahead of him on the left-hand side. Just checking back a little bit now and goes for the 1-2 and nudging it beyond the byline for a corner for the home side was Danilo.
Yeah, he read it well, Danilo. Tomiyasu was beaten by the clever little 1-2 with Rebic and Hernandez.
Well, a quarter of the way through the match, and a first half of a few goal-scoring opportunities up to now. Milan with the corner, their first of the game. Headed away by Soriano. And Ibrahimovic is there. Skorupski, brilliant double save. And the final block made by Adama Sumuaro. Superb goalkeeping from Skorupski to keep it at 0-0, to deny Ibrahimovic twice in the matter of a second or two. Pressure still on here as Leao tries to turn. Skorupski's there again. And the referee now points to the spot.
Well, he's not happy with the challenge on Leao from Dykes. Quite rightly so. I think he's given a penalty here, but what a couple of saves that was from Skorupski.
Well, Skorupski deserved a better outcome than having to face a penalty, didn't he, Stuart, for the two saves that he made at the start of the move?
Well, here's where the penalty's given, and he grabs hold of the arm of Leao. There wasn't a lot in it, but he still did grab him there. And then he grabbed his shirt, and that's what the referee saw, and it's not going to be overturned. That will be a penalty. There's the grab of the shirt. The right decision. All depends whether he was onside when... Here's the first couple of saves. First one from Ibrahimovic, the second one even better. Got up so quickly. And a good block from Smauro. What a double save that was from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, tremendous goalkeeping from the Polish international. But his reward for that double save is to face Zlatan Ibrahimovic again from 12 yards.
Well, they have two very good penalty takers, Milan, Ibrahimovic, and when he's not playing, Kessie's been taking the penalties and just finishing them really easily. There's the challenge again, there's the shirt tug. VAR is still looking at it.
But there's only one person who's going to take this penalty kick, being as he's on the field. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who scored both goals against Bologna on the opening match day. Can he open the scoring here? Skorupski rather reluctantly wandering back towards his line. Big chance for the leaders to go ahead. And a brilliant save again from Skorupski, who's denied on the follow-up by Ante Rebic. And Skorupski, having made a brilliant double save.
There was the penalty given again.
Superbly saves a penalty from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But on the follow-up, Ante Rebic, the first one there. Milan leading in Bologna by 1-0.
Well, that's what you have to do as a player in and around the box. As long as he wasn't in the box, that will certainly be looked at. There was the penalty given again. Dykes now, not a good penalty from Ibrahimovic, and Rebic first to it, and he was outside the box when the ball was played, so everything's okay with that as well. The only man you have to feel sorry for is that one there, Skorupski.
Yeah, really unlucky there, the goalkeeper, having done so well in the last couple of minutes. But Sinisa Mihailovic's team are behind. The quick feet and the quick thinking of Ante Rebic, who, as Stuart said, was clearly outside the penalty area when the kick was taken. I think we could see that. And we're almost ready for the match to resume. Now we are, because the VAR hub, Luca Pairetto, leading the team there, perfectly happy with everything that's gone on. And Bologna behind to Milan. It's familiar. It's a few years ago. Situation for them in matches against the Rossoneri. And now they may have some defending to do again, as Hernandez brings it a long play, and where if it stays like this, they will extend their advantage, certainly for a few hours, to 5 points over Inter. Salamakers now looking to cause more trouble for the home defence. Rafael Leao, plenty of white shirts forward. Skorupski makes the save, and Ibrahimovic unable to get his foot right around it to bring it back in towards the goal.
Yeah, I think it would have been offside anyway. He had a little look at the linesman. But they've been caught on the counter-attack 2 or 3 times now. There he was, just offside, Ibrahimovic, as was the centre-half, Romagnoli.
But more warning signs there for Bologna as they try to play their way back into this match. Four wins, couple of draws and 3 defeats for Bologna so far. Got the Renato Dallara. Only 1 heavy defeat though so far, 5-1 to Roma, who currently sit 3rd in the table. That header away, merely finding Ibrahimovic from Tomiyasu. Wrestling match there, won by Nicolas Dominguez, collected by Roberto Soriano. Makes his 200th Serie A appearance today. Dominguez keeps the move going. And now it's with Barrow. Dominguez happy to leave it. Sansone quick to shoot. Romagnoli making sure he kept both arms behind his back. As we approach the half-hour mark, and still Gianluigi Donnarumma in the Milan goal hasn't had anything to do yet. Soriano hopes to try and create an opportunity that could change that now. Dominguez, Sansone on the near side, Barrow in the centre. Dijk sends it across beyond the far post and headed away by Hernandez, with Orsolini loitering there on the right.
Yeah, good play from Bologna. Orsolini not the best in the air, didn't really attack it, but good defending from Theo Hernandez at the far post. That's the better side of Dijk's. Good cross into the box with that left foot, the left back.
Well, did rather well there, Orsolini under pressure. Over it comes from Soriano, the header down, skimming off Tomori's head. And Mitchell Dijks now for Bologna. Away from Salamakers, but the Belgian able to slide in at the expense of a throw. Dijks, who missed much of the early portion of the season, he returned around Christmas time to resume his regular place in the side. But Bologna are on the front foot here as they look to come back in this one in the closing quarter of an hour of the first half. Donnarumma, vocal. It's whipped into the heart of the box. It was Ibrahimovic helping out his defensive colleagues there. Schouten for Bologna, away to Moussa Barrow. Barrow's cross doesn't reach Sumoaro. Tomori's initial clearance. And the shot whipping into the side netting. Certainly had Donnarumma scrambling to his left-hand side there from Orsolini.
Well, he just nudges Theo Hernandez off the ball there. Hernandez is looking at the assistant referee. He tries to go at the near post to beat Donnarumma. He's got that excellent left foot.
Decent effort that from Orsolini. He's the second highest scorer for Bologna this season with 5 so far. But Rafael Leao now bringing it forward for Milan. Salamakers through the centre. Theo Hernandez is up there as well, and the little shot was never going to have the momentum to trouble the goalkeeper. Deflection carrying it straight into the hands of Skorupski. Orsolini finding Soriano. Closed down by Kessie. Takahiro Tomiyasu prepares to take the throw. Paolo Maldini among those watching on, as ever. Maldini, key figure in bringing Fikayo Tomori into the Milan setup during this transfer window.
Foul given there for the, I think more for the challenge by Calabria than the one from Salamakers. Even Gazidis, former Arsenal chief executive, now heading up the Milan operation.
Well, Donnarumma still hasn't really got those gloves dirty today, has he? Barrow with the free kick, sending it into the box. And Tonali was there. Milan with the player down inside the penalty area. It's their goal scorer.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Rebic in general play. Just had his ankle stood upon there by Soriano. Complete accident, I think.
There's quite a thicket of players there just behind the penalty spot. Referee doing everything he can to keep his eye on everything that's going on. Ibrahimovic with the initial header away, and Kessie and Hernandez just getting in each other's way momentarily. One in the air once more by Tomiyasu. Now is Theo Hernandez. Closed down by Orsolini, but not dispossessed. Support from Rafael Leao, the Portuguese under-21 international.
That's the problem when you do go and join a club that are willing to spend money here, there and everywhere. That you're not always guaranteed a first team. Spot and games can actually halt your career to some extent.
Here's Adama Sumuaro back with Schouten. Danilo sending it forward up towards Barrow, and running in behind him there, trying to see if there was anything doing with Sansone. Still only 21, Donnarumma. Feels like he's been around forever, doesn't it, already? Such a long-standing fixture, it feels, for Milan. Still a very young goalkeeper. Tonali looks to get things moving. Salamakers trying to create a bit of space for himself. Dominguez sending it forward. Tomori cutting it out into Leao. Now the chance for Milan to move forward. Salamakers in the middle, alongside Ibrahimovic, now moving out to the near side as Calabria sends it in. beyond Rebic, beyond Ibrahimovic. He was hoping that he might get a decision from the officials there.
Well, it was a good ball played in from Calabria. Rebic had made the run in front of Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic couldn't quite get there, could he?
75 years between them, those two, Ibrahimovic and Danilo, going for the ball there. Milan leading, Ante Rebic with the goal after 25 minutes, following up from a penalty from Ibrahimovic, saved by Łukasz Skorupski, who is scouting for Bologna. Danilo, now Dykes. Bologna starting the day 13th in the table, half a dozen points clear of the relegation scrap. Scout and Salamakers ends up on the deck. Carry on with the match, say the officials, as Dominguez brings it forward. Happy to switch the play away to the far side of the field, and Roberto Soriano. Lovely ball in, here's Sansone, still going, and Donnarumma makes the save with the outside of his right leg. Lovely play from Bologna, though. But Sansone couldn't find a way past Donnarumma. And Milan on the counter. Theo Hernandez, just as he likes it, with a chance to run at the defence, but it was a stretch for Ibrahimovic. This has really opened up here as we head into the last 6 minutes of the first half. Riccardo Orsolini bringing it forward. Dominguez held up by Fikayo Tomori. Here's Kessie getting it away.
Well, it was a big chance, wasn't it?
Staff, Riccardo Orsolini bringing it forward. Dominguez held up by Fikayo Tomori. Here's Kessie getting it away.
Well, it was a big chance, wasn't it? It is so often the case. Donnarumma just got his right thigh to it, I think, in the end.
Yeah, it was. But Sansone at the time, I thought he'd done well initially in having the opportunity and keeping hold of the ball when he was being closed down. So it was a good bit of skill from him, but just couldn't find the finish to get it past Donnarumma.
You're absolutely right, because Calabria had gone with him and he threatened to shoot. Calabria went to the ground and he took it on again. It bought him that little bit of time and space to get the shot away.
A few lollipops there a few moments ago from Rafael Leao, and Rebic there was tripping over his own feet. Last 5 minutes of the first half. Rebic, the goal scorer, sending it in. Ibrahimovic down, and Skorupski at full stretch makes the grab to deny Calabria. It was a lovely piece of play there from Milan.
Well, it's interesting. Ibrahimovic was telling Calabria he should have chested it down and got the shot away.
Oh, and Calabria has given it away now. It's collected here by Sansone. Support provided by Dominguez. Blocked again by Donnarumma. But Bologna threatening twice in the last couple of minutes.
Great goalkeeping again from Donnarumma. Just makes himself big. He doesn't go down too early. At that point, Milan were all over the place. Calabria just had a header at one end and he was racing back and gave the ball.
Salamakers tried to win himself a free kick there, but referee wisely ignoring it, and Sansone does exactly the same thing. And away now comes Kessie for Milan. Rebic sprinting ahead of him. Now just cutting back, making sure he's onside. It's with Hernandez. Ibrahimovic in the middle. Rafael Leao up to the edge of the box, but Danilo collects once more and tidies up in that unhurried, unfussy way of his. Orsolini, free kick, foul by Kessie.
Well, it's certainly been an entertaining last 20 minutes or so, end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, Bologna haven't played badly, have they? They've certainly created a couple of chances.
Here's the best of them. Dominguez 1v1. Entertaining last 20 minutes or so, end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, Bologna haven't played badly, have they? They've certainly created a couple of chances.
Here's the best of them. Dominguez 1v1.
Yeah, it was a good chance. Got a goal against Spezia in a draw last month, but big opportunity for Dominguez there. He sends the ball forward.
So he doesn't seem to have any problem with that injury he got before the game, does it, in the warm-up?
No, and it comes now once more, and Soriano sees it just bounce awkwardly off his left boot. But I think encouraging signs for Bologna as this half has worn on, as they try to play their way back into the game.
Yeah, that was the pass from Soriano. There's the one you're talking about. Good skill from Sansone, and it just hits his... Good skill from Sansone, and it just hits his... trying to cut it back across the goalkeeper. It's actually his right ankle that it hits. Good goalkeeping. And he just gets that. Top hand to it. He actually went down quite early there, but just got his right hand up above his body. And that's what made the sleeve his luck that he was in.
Last couple of minutes of the opening half coming up, plus a little bit of added time. Sumoaro, and it's all the way back to Skorupski from the boot of Nicolas Dominguez, with Danilo once more. Yuri Scouten back to Adama Sumoaro. Skorupski's clearance skidding to Kessie. And Sumoaro away into space, but it's space that was occupied by Rebic. Hernandez challenged by Soriano. Orsolini. It's a nice composed look at times from Bologna in possession. Here now is Moussa Barrow, looking for Orsolini. Back with the visiting side, Milan. They look as if they're just looking to manage this one and play it out towards half-time. Happy to take their time. Tonali. Leao. Rebic nearby. Hernandez as ever getting well forward on the far side of the pitch. Tomori.
The player that just can't get in the game for Milan is Salamakers, really.
He's flitting around the edges at the moment, isn't he, as Theo Hernandez gains some more ground, and Rebic sends it in. Skorupski away, Calabria's there, and a desperate last-ditch challenge from Mitchell Dykes, certainly doing enough, presumably, to put him off.
Theo Hernandez again goes past a couple of players really easily. There's Rebic trying to push it beyond the goalkeeper. Been interesting had he lifted it over the sliding challenge of Dykes, and Dykes had gone into him. That would have been a second penalty and probably a sending off.
He's had a couple of opportunities as well, hasn't he, Calabria? He had the header a few minutes ago from close range. So a minimum of 1 minute of added time.
I think it's been a good first half. We've seen several chances. We've seen some enterprising play from both teams. Some good saves from Skorupski and a couple from Donnarumma. Should make for a very good second half. Several chances. We've seen some enterprising play from both teams. Some good saves from Skorupski and a couple from Donnarumma. Should make for a very good second half.
According to referee Daniele Doveri.
Tomiyasu was holding on to Kessie's shirt, wasn't he?
6 of one, half dozen of the other there. And Tomiyasu was lucky not to concede a free kick himself there. Scouten for Bologna. Maybe time for one last venture forward towards the Milan penalty area if they hurry up about it. Dykes leaving it for Dominguez, and the referee says that'll do it for the opening half. It's been lively. There have been chances at either end. Skorupski has really impressed for Bologna in goal, including saving a penalty from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Ante Rebic first to react and bang home the rebound at half-time. It's Bologna 0, Milan 1.
The Scarlets. Is there Slagans? Is there space? Is there Slagans? Is there space?
goalkeeper, having done so well in the last couple of minutes.
Some see what's there. We see beyond. Future is an attitude. Audi.
Hello, I'm Wyn Evans and I'm the Go Compare man. People often ask me, who does the actual singing in the Go Compare ads? Well, actually, me. Because in real life, I'm an operatic tenor. Here I am doing my stuff. I absolutely love this next bit. So, where would a tenor learn enough about car insurance to know that one of the best deals around is the £250 free excess? So, where would a tenor learn enough about car insurance to know that one of the best deals around is the £250 free excess?
In the town, our sound, listen, our sound, listen.
And it's in! Drilled into the bottom corner! Oh, it's sensational!
Juventus versus Roma, live next Saturday on Premier Sports 1.
From history with greater technical ability. There may have been forwards with more complete all-round games, but inside the penalty area there are very few players you'd rather a chance fell to than Pippo Inzaghi. He had already had 4 clubs before he really made his breakthrough in Serie A with Atalanta. The move from Parma to Bergamo in the summer of 1996 provided the spark that would ignite his career. His debut season for La Dea saw him finish as capocannoniere with 24 goals, but such form was always likely to turn heads. And when Juventus came calling, it was clear that his first campaign for Atalanta Joining a giant club with an array of attacking options meant Inzaghi's spot in the starting 11 was not assured. But a goal on his league debut against Lecce got him off to the best possible start. He went on to form an excellent relationship with Alessandro Del Piero and Zinedine Zidane, with the trio helping Juve to the Scudetto in 1998. Inzaghi by now was well established as a great goalscorer, though not necessarily a scorer of great goals. His success was down to his incredible instincts, his persistence, and the guarantee that he would pop up to punish. Great Johan Cruyff said disparagingly of Inzaghi, he can't actually play football at all, he's just always in the right position. While Sir Alex Ferguson famously suggested Inzaghi was born offside. But the fact that the frontman had got under the skin of 2 of the greatest coaches of all time also pointed to how much of a nuisance he was to his opponents. He swapped Turin for Milan in the summer of 2001, and it turned out to be another excellent move. Despite former side Juve winning the title in each of his first 2 seasons for the Rossoneri, Inzaghi got his second taste of Scudetto success, this time with Milan in 2004. He was a key figure for the side, who were implored to play with 2 strikers and an attacking midfielder by President Silvio Berlusconi. With Andriy Shevchenko alongside him and the creativity of Kaká just behind, the team coached by Carlo Ancelotti produced some superb attacking football, with the man known as Super Pippo always on hand to add the finishing touch. Inzaghi knew his job was simply to put the ball away. He rarely squandered a chance, and even more certain was that his celebrations would be bursting with emotion. A tap-in was as good as a shot from outside the box for Inzaghi, and his His relentless energy and enthusiasm for scoring goals ensured his career ran well into his 30s. He signed off in typical fashion in May 2012. With Milan struggling at home to already relegated Novara, Inzaghi was summoned from the bench and pounced inside the final 10 minutes. He retired with 3 Scudetti, 2 Champions Leagues, a World Cup winners' medal and over 300 career goals. It's a record that confirms his status as one of Italy's deadliest penalty box poachers of all time.
That's great play by Atalanta, and they've unlocked them. Casado's there to spin and shoot and score. Into the area, turn and hit. Atalanta versus Lazio. Live Sunday on Premier Sports 1. That's Johnny Rossa. That's what he'll give you. Oh, surely they must get over here. And they do. Connacht on their second try. Dragons versus Connacht. Live Friday night on Premier Sports 1.
For answers to all your questions on equity release, call us today or search Key Equity Release to Audio Free Expert Guide. Key Equity Release that's right for you.
Extraordinary is not just any word. It's reserved for everything that goes beyond the norm. You have to let go of your certainties. Embrace new forms of energy. Go all the way. Because nothing is impossible if you break the mold. Lighting the way, the all-new Hyundai Tucson Hybrid.
When I started struggling to breathe, I thought that's enough. It's New Year, I'm quitting. I did it with the help of nicotine.
Nicotine Clear Patch provides 24 hours of controlled nicotine release.
If I get a craving, I grab a mini that works fast.
Use Nicotine Clear Patch and Minis, an unbeatable way of quitting smoking. Now working with the British Lung Foundation for healthier lungs every day.
Morning.
Oh, you're up. Happy birthday. That's from us.
That's proper tied up, that.
It's the key to your car. Well, my old car.
It's great. Thanks, Mum.
That's his mum's car.
Hiya.
Hiya.
You change.
Thank you.
Are those for me? Are those for me?
She's great. Thanks, Mum.
Lovely, lovely play from the Scarlets. Is there Slitans? Is there space? Is there power? They must be over surely here, Leinster. Oh, here comes Sam Costello. Has he found the way to the sideline?
Scarlets versus Leinster. Live tonight on Premier Sports.
second half. Milan, who've scored in 20 successive Serie A away matches for the first time in their history, courtesy of Ante Rebic's strike in the 25th minute. But that man there, Gianluigi Donnarumma, was still required to make a couple of excellent saves late in the first half to preserve the clean sheet. Nicola Sansone and Dominguez as well, with the shots that were saved by the goalkeeper. So Bologna certainly playing their part in the match so far. Milan, you sense Stuart Robson could really do with a second goal before they can feel a little more comfortable in this fixture.
Absolutely, because there is still a threat from Bologna. They've got one or two exciting players. We know that Soriano can pick out a pass. We know he can arrive in the box late. There he is. And Sansone, I think, has had a good game from the left-hand side. And you're always likely, if you give away set plays, something could happen. So Milan need another goal, that's for sure.
Ibrahimovic denied by a brilliant double save from the goalkeeper Łukasz Skorupski for Bologna in the first half as well. And there's Riccardo Orsolini had a couple of a really good shot as well, which Donnarumma covered at the near post, which went into the side netting. So still plenty of opportunities, you sense, for Bologna in this fixture as Roberto Mancini looks on, the national coach. Daniele Doveri gets us underway, and it is Bologna who kick off this second half. Surging forward, very quick out of the traps as Soriano lays the ball back to Tomiyasu. No changes made by either of the head coaches at half-time. It's with Sumoaro. It's his full debut for Bologna today. The loanee from Lille into Soriano, who gets the shot in, and it deflects behind, and Donnarumma there just staying in position for a moment. Even he couldn't have done anything about this one, Stuart, had it ricocheted in an unfortunate way.
Well, they worked it really well to find Soriano that little bit of space.
Certainly wouldn't have ricocheted in an unfortunate way from Bologna's point of view as they look for that equalising goal. Very positive start to the second half for them. Into the near post area, and again it was Soriano getting in, but a comfortable catch. It was also Danilo in the penalty area, but Soriano, the player who got his boot to the ball, I think.
You're absolutely right, with a little bit of help of Ibrahimovic as well. That's what Ibrahimovic does so well, defends that near post space.
Salamaca's upended.
He's the player that's got to come to the party a little bit. Salamaca's been disappointed in that first half. Fouled by Moussa Barrow.
Yeah, Samu Castillejo, the player making way today. One of those on the bench for Milan. As Rebic just gives up on that run, having had his shirt pulled. It certainly looked as if that was the case, but the officials allowing the match to go on. Hernandez. A little ricochet off Orsolini, collected by Barrow. Sansone loitering on the edge of the box, and also Soriano. Free kick for the home side here, conceded by Salamakers.
He only realised that Salamakers was coming behind him at the last minute and just got his body in the way. There's the ball over the top. There's the shirt tug,
which is clear as day.
Yeah, we saw one just before half-time from Tomiyasu as well, didn't we? On Rebic, I think it was.
Well, it was quite extraordinary. There wasn't a free kick there, but the game continued, and now Milan have got some defending to do here. Great week with that
Salamanca's
Atalanta
disappointed
result,
in that
and then
first half. Fouled by Musa Barrow.
Yeah, Samu Castillejo, the player making way today. One of those on the bench for Milan. As Rebic just gives up on that run, having had his shirt pulled. It certainly looked as if that was the case, but the officials allowing the match to go on. Hernandez, a little ricochet off Orsolini, collected by Barrow. Sansone loitering on the edge of the box, and also Soriano. Free kick for the home side here, conceded by Salamanca's.
He only realised that Salamanca's was coming behind him at the last minute and just got his body in the way. There's the ball over the top. There's the shirt tug,
which is clear as day.
Yeah, we saw one just before half-time from Tomiyasu as well, didn't we? On Rebic, I think it was.
Well, it was quite extraordinary. There wasn't a free kick there, but the game continued, and now Milan have got some defending to do here. Kessie into Hernandez. There's Rebic, showed a bit too much of that one to Orsolini, who clearly felt that and descended to the turf. In pain. His cries still echoing around the stadium.
Yeah, Rebic hasn't been at his best today. Just
to be fair, it did look painful, that one, Stuart, on the top of the foot.
Would be. Who's pulling whose shirt? Soriano realised he was never going to beat Kessie to the ball. Yellow.
Here, Riccardo Orsolini. Found himself rapidly closed down, notably by Kessie.
He said he's got his team.
Bounces away from Orsolini. These scored so far this season. A player they've got on loan from Atalanta, which will be then made permanent in the summer. And Jukic among the substitutes, limbering up for Milan.
Yeah, if I was purely, I'd be looking to substitute Rebic at some point. Having just been booked, he's not playing at his very best. Yes, he scored the only goal, but his general play hasn't been particularly good today. Just looks a little bit rusty after quite a timeout.
Sumo
Ibrahimovic knew it. Nothing you can do about that. That's a poor bit of defending.
Well, he tries to head it and completely misjudges the flight of the ball, doesn't he, with the header? And a straight red card is shown.
So that man there, Mihailovic, for something he said.
Mihailovic sent from the touchline, straight red card. And suddenly it has the potential to unravel rather rapidly for Bologna here, with their coach ordered from the touchline. And Ibrahimovic, having missed a penalty in the first half, Franck Kessie now will take their second one of the afternoon. And he will find a way past Skorupski. It was really close to the goalkeeper, but this time the Pole couldn't keep it out. Kessie scores, and Milan lead by 2-0, and they have scored at least 2 away from home for 16 consecutive matches in the league now.
Well, here's the handball. There's no argument about it. He's got himself into a bad position. He's not watching the ball to start with. It then comes over his shoulder. And he goes down the middle. Skorupski just started to go to the right-hand side, and he stood still. He just catches it. But he must know what he's doing, Kessie, because he keeps on scoring.
Skorupski will be kicking himself, won't he, there? So 2-0 Milan, just as it was when the two sides met on the opening day of the season. And Orsolini goes down, holding his left foot. And Milan goes skipping away with the ball, his cries having been ignored by the referee. And there's a flare-up here, and referee Daniele Doveri shows a yellow card immediately to Roberto Soriano. And the temperature just goes up a degree or two out there.
Well, they're upset about the penalties that have been given against them. Then they wanted a foul against Orsolini, which wasn't given here. Teo Hernandez gives him a little shove, but Orsolini goes down very theatrically. Yeah. Scream and a roll. The referee didn't give that. And as soon as Soriano committed the foul, there was always going to be a problem.
But they really can't complain about the penalty that was awarded in the second half. It was a clear handball, unintentionally, from Adama Sumuaro. A little bit of, I was going to say treatment, but just merely doing his bootlace up there, Orsolini, before rejoining the match. Well, Milan have got that little bit of elbow room, Stuart, that they were looking for, haven't they, with that second goal now?
Yeah, and disappointing for Bologna, because they started the second half quite brightly. But it was a poor bit of defending. Good movement again from Ibrahimovic. Started by Romagnoli coming out with the ball. Leao, as he's done quite often, coming out to this left-hand side and hitting those big diagonals. There's the straight red.
There's a straight red card for Mihailovic.
Maybe not. Somebody else from the bench seemed to be walking away as well.
Well, he's certainly not. He's known for not being afraid to venture his opinion, is he, Mihailovic?
Well, actually, Mihailovic is back on the side. He thought he was sent off. He started to walk away.
He did.
And then his assistant realised that the red card was for him.
So Mihailovic is back on the touchline, having disappeared for a moment or two.
He must have felt guilty.
Well, match has just lost its way a little bit, meandering for a minute or two here, a little bit untidy once again. But Bologna need a goal to give themselves a bit of a foothold and some renewed hope that they can get back in the match. Sumaro way to Mitchell Dyke. Sabaro now in possession. Soriano in the middle. Orsolini has gone up as well, and Orsolini almost got on the end of that one, putting Hernandez under real pressure.
Yeah, he's not the biggest player. I mentioned in the first half he's not known for his heading ability, but a good cross from Musabaro, and he attacks it. Gets up above Hernandez. That's what you have to do when the cross comes in from one side of the field and you're playing wide on the other side. You've got to attack the far post. Certainly did that.
Changes foot for Milan in the not too distant future.
I suggest that Rebic could be the player to make way, just because he's had that yellow card. Krunic, the player that's coming on.
So Rada Krunic getting ready with some last-minute instruction. It'll happen in the next minute or two as Ibrahimovic sends it forward. Milan looking for a third goal. Ball just going in behind Rebic, though, and Ibrahimovic quick to point out where that particular manoeuvre broke down. Barrow shields it well. Support from Soriano. He wanted the ball back. They've lost a little bit of the momentum then that they might have had. This is Sansone. Now Dyke. Bit of space for Yuri Skelton. He picks out Riccardo Orsolini, looking for an opening, and Donnarumma was there. A straightforward save for the Milan keeper.
Yeah, the good thing about that, he's not even thinking about pushing it away, he's just thinking about getting it with both hands, getting it under control. Good save, because it bounced in front of him.
Into the final half an hour we go. And at the moment, Milan looking good to, for a few hours at least, extend their lead at the top of the table. Hernandez bringing it forward. Salamakas over on the far side. Support coming from Calabria. Good save, and Leao a little slower to react than the two defenders in his vicinity.
I just wonder whether Leao thought he was offside. Good play, though, from Milan. Salamakas, I think, was the target to start with, but he would have been offside, and Calabria hits it well. Tries to cut across it. Doesn't quite get it in the corner. Another good save from Skorupski.
Ball just slightly curving in towards the keeper, wasn't it, at the last moment there, rather than away from him. Krunic coming on. I think Benacer is coming on as well. More on that in a moment. Headed away by Schouten. There will be a free kick. Danilo, the player, down inside the penalty area.
Yeah, it's good to see Benacer back. He was brilliant at the start of the season with Kessie in that midfield area. It's Tomori that commits the foul.
So Benacer coming on, and Tonali and Rebic, the two players to make way. As Krunic, the Bosnia and Herzegovina international, who returned to the squad last week after coronavirus, comes on too for the last half an hour of the game.
Yeah, straight swaps, I'd say, in that midfield area. Krunic won't play quite as wide as Rebic did, although Leao has come to this left-hand side.
Haven't seen much from Benacer for a while, have we, in a Milan shirt? He's basically been out since November. He made one appearance in the middle of December against Parma, but that's it. So welcome return, as you say, Stuart, there for Ismail Benacer for Milan. Moussa Barrow with the ball into Schouten in midfield. Desperately need a goal to get on the board and bring themselves back into the match. Barrow beaten to it by Tomori, and here's Sumaoro.
It looks like Krunic is going to play as the furthest forward midfield player in behind Ibrahimovic. Benacer will join Kessie that little bit deeper. Now has come to the left-hand side.
Winning the last 10 for Bologna. Of course, this is one of the harder matches they will have in the whole campaign, but need to get a few more points on the board so they don't get sucked into the battle near the rear end of the table. A big one next weekend as well, Bologna. They're away to Parma. Parma also struggling this season. Then they've got Benevento at home the following Friday. So two big games they'll be looking to get points from.
Hernandez just got enough on that, didn't he?
Danilo in ahead of Ibrahimovic. Romagnoli tussling with Moussa Barrow. That's Fikayo Tomori getting his head to the ball. Danilo keeping it in. Barrow muscled out of it by Hernandez. Well, Solini backs up to try and win the ball for the home side. Sumaru got there ahead of Ibrahimovic, who certainly felt that.
Well, he still leads the line brilliantly, doesn't he? Gets his body in the way, wins free kicks, gives some away as well, but just leads the line so well. This could always be a little bit nasty and around a player on the ground.
First touch for Benacer, having come off the bench, and Tomori sends it forward. That was into Salamakers initially. Sumaru. And Skorupski just about manages to find his teammate Schouten, but you could see for a couple of moments there he didn't have any options that he liked, with plenty of white shirts descending upon him, and here they come now with Benacer. Blocked off by Tomiyasu and collected here by Dykes. 25 minutes to go. Milan at the moment looking good for a 9th away win of the season.
It's a much needed win after a disappointing week.
Yeah, it was a really poor outcome, wasn't it, the Atalanta game from their point of view, a 3-0 drubbing at home.
It wasn't just the scoreline, it was the fact that they were totally outplayed and Atalanta looked way superior in every facet of the game. That would have been a worry for Pioli and the players.
Danilo sends it forward. Sansone really composed under pressure there.
Kessie was just caught, I think, by Soriano. They wanted a foul here. Calabria all over Sansone. And it's Soriano who just catches Kessie.
Double change for the home time. Emmanuel Vignato, Italian under-21 international, and Matthias Svanberg. Two players who were dropped today coming on, and Sansone, who haven't seen much of this season really due to injury, is one of those leaving the field of play. So Sansone makes way, and Nicolas Dominguez as well. Dominguez did well to play, actually, the international from Argentina. If you'd seen him 20 minutes before the match, you wonder whether he would. And Skov Olsen is on for Orsolini as well. It's a triple change. Orsolini doesn't look terribly happy about it, does he, Stuart, to be honest?
No, I think he wears his heart on his sleeve at times, Orsolini. I'm not sure Mihailovic is the sort of coach that you want to show too much aggression to.
No,
even before Cruz unleashes that heat-seeking ball, and Asensio keeps his calm and finishes off his not his preferred foot. His left foot is a wand, finishes off his right. Top row should be able to do that.
Well, it's going to be looked at, Graham, because of the challenge by Mendy on Melero, I believe, in the opposite penalty area.
Yeah, and what you and I saw, I have to confess, the first time I didn't see a foul.
This time couldn't find a way
well done,
past
VAR.
It
did look like here, as if a foul is committed. In fact, VAR and I seem to disagree.
Svanberg coming into the heart of the midfield for Bologna for what remains of the match. Swedish international. Here he is now, tussling with Salamakers. Really good play there by Svanberg, sending it through, and the cross doesn't find Barrow in the middle. It very nearly does, though. And Skov Olsen combining there with Svanberg, the two substitutes, almost setting up the opportunity for a goal.
Well, it's a good ball played in behind the fullback. Skov Olsen just didn't quite get enough on it, but Tomori really did make a mess of his clearance. Almost put his team in trouble there.
And Soriano tries to feed it through into Barrow in the penalty area. Signs of life in this Bologna side, 3/4 of the way through the game, despite the 2-goal deficit.
And there's Sandberg, who started the game last week next to Scouting in that midfield area.
And they took him off about 25 minutes from the end, didn't they, Svanberg last week? Recently served a suspension. He was sent off against Udinese earlier this month for 2 yellow cards in a match in which he'd earlier scored. Pretty eventful day for him. If you've just joined our coverage, Milan leading. Ante Rebic with the goal in the 25th minute, first to react after an Ibrahimovic penalty had been saved. And Franck Kessie from the penalty spot 10 minutes into the second half. So many ways a tale of 2 penalty kicks, but also of a couple of really good saves at either end of the field. Skorupski, the goalkeeper for Bologna, has been in good form today, and Donnarumma also with a couple of important saves, particularly in the latter stages of the first half. Rafael Leao now for Milan. Cut out by Dykes, who goes powering after it, but Calabria was there. 20 to go, flag up far side, free kick Bologna.
Yeah, Salamakas, the player that was offside, coming back as that ball was played forward by Donnarumma.
This is Danilo. Easy for Calabria, Salamakas. Scouten won the ball initially. Salamakas rolling it forward. Lots of space here now for Franck Kessie. Support from Leao to the near side. Ibrahimovic is in the middle as ever. Leao sent it across towards Ibrahimovic. He was trying to just lay the ball off there for Rada Krunic, who is racing into the penalty area. Skov Olsen. Tomiyasu. Here's Skov Olsen again. Danes missed most of the season through injury.
He's a similar sort of player to Orsolini because he's playing on the right-hand side. He's very much left-footed, as you've already seen him since he's been on.
Yeah, certainly can help to make a difference. It will be Milan's ball. Andreas Skov Olsen, he's been out with a fracture in his back for much of the season. A sequence of substitute appearances now. It's 5 in the last 6 matches as he plays his way back to full fitness. Combative from Svanberg.
And then the good pass as well, that was the key to it. And you can see Skov Olsen on his weaker right foot. It was a poor cross, but an even worse clearance from Tomori.
He was lucky to get away with that, wasn't he, Tomori?
He was trying to play it with the outside of his boot and he got it horribly wrong.
So Rafael Leao's day is done, and Mario Mandzukic is on to replace him for his second appearance for the club, having he only joined Milan on the 19th of January. We saw him last weekend for 20 minutes, and he'll get roughly the same today.
Interesting to see where Mandzukic will play. It looks like he's going to play on the left-hand side of midfield, as he so often played for Juventus. And what a good job he did for Juventus on that left-hand side. Always worked really hard. He had to fill in for centre forwards like Higuain, and then when Ronaldo came, he knew he was never going to get up front, so had to play a part on the left-hand side.
Scouten with the layoff, and Sandberg attempting to flick it away to the far side.
It's looking slightly cold, even Gazidis.
Here's Tomori. The start today with Simon Kjær missing the game through injury, an injury which he picked up in the Coppa Italia on Tuesday night in the first half against Inter. Danilo up well against Salamakas. Davide Calabria. Krunic into Here's Krunic. 13 minutes to go, plus added time. Milan at the moment, it would seem, in complete control of the match.
Well, Bologna need to try and win the ball back. Can't just allow Milan to pass with this amount of ease and control.
And Jukic with a little flick up. Benacer tries to turn away from Tomiyasu, who catches him. Well, Mandzukic actually wasn't available during the week because of an ankle injury. And he's taken a bang on his foot there as well.
He just steps across Tomiyasu. Always wonder how it could go the other way sometimes, because he's not actually trying to play the ball, Mandzukic. He's stepping across the challenge.
So there is that change with Palacio coming on, Rodrigo Palacio, 38 years young. He's younger than that man there. And Palacio with just the one goal so far this season, very early in the campaign. Andrea Poli is going to come on too. So, conveyor belt of substitutions as the Scouten comes off, who, as you mentioned before, Stuart, has quietly impressed in the heart of their midfield today.
He's a player that everybody had high hopes for. Poli didn't quite fulfil his potential.
Yep, Andrea Poli coming on against his former club, arrived from Milan in 2017, has spent 4 years with them, made over 100 appearances. That's comfortable for Skorupski. He's had a good game today, hasn't he, Bologna's goalkeeper?
Yeah, as he did last week against Juventus. I thought he was outstanding last week, kept his side in it, made several really good saves, and he's done exactly the same today.
Sumaoro just had that one mad moment, didn't he, when he went to head the ball, and it looked like he closed his eyes at the vital moment, and instead of heading it, it bounced off his arm. Clear penalty anyway. First touch for Rodrigo Palacio, the former Inter man. And Skov Olsen can't find a teammate. Kessie can, and it's with Calabria now, who sends it forward, back towards the Ivorian, Franck Kessie. Svanberg tracking him stride for stride. Salamakers can't keep it in. Bologna will have a throw.
Well, the player that's gone through the game just within himself, but played really well, is that man there, Franck Kessie again. Such an improved player over the last year and a half. Does everything you want from a midfield player.
He doesn't waste energy, does he, Kessie? And I don't mean that in a negative sense either. Do you know what I mean? He does what he needs to do. He's quick when he needs to be, but he doesn't run about unnecessarily. He's got a good habit of putting himself in the right place at the right time.
Well, he's really matured. A couple of years ago, he was a bit of a hothead. He didn't always make the right decisions. Now he's been in complete control of his game. He knows exactly what he's trying to do and what the team needs.
Well, Palacio won the ball back there, and he's got it at his feet now. Players in support as well. Skov Olsen sends it in, and they're back in the game. Bologna back on the score sheet with 10 minutes to go, and Andrea Poli, it's his first touch since coming off the bench, and he scores against his former club. Bologna 1, Milan 2, and now we could have a really interesting final 10 minutes.
Well, it was good play all round. They won the ball back in a good area. Palacio picked the right pass. Skov Olsen with the cut back. Whether he means to hit it in the top corner or not, it's a good finish from Andrea Poli. It actually takes a bobble, and it hits him almost on the shin. Watch the ball here just before he hits it. Just goes up in the air, but it ends up being an excellent finish.
Well, Bologna have got something to work with now. Can they salvage a point? Milan not home and dry in this match, but still with the advantage. Forward by Tomiyasu. It was Rodrigo Palacio who won the ball back initially.
I think this is going to be a very nervy last 8 minutes plus any added on time for Milan. They've just lost their way here.
Palacio Bologna suddenly back into it. Vignato, another one of the subs, into Barrow. Surrounded and relieved of the ball. Rada Krunic has it for Milan. They look to just settle things down a little bit. Mandzukic forward, Salamakers with a little layoff. Sumuaro intercepting. That was Benacer having a little chop at him twice, but still Sumuaro strong. Picking out Takahiro Tomiyasu. Renewed belief for Bologna as they venture forward.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to see Theo Hernandez burst forward quite so much in this last 8 minutes or so.
Here's Andres Skov-Olsen. Skov-Olsen teeing it up. It's a disappointing delivery from Bologna's point of view. Danilo floats it into the penalty area and a flying header there, pushed wide by Donnarumma, denying Soriano.
What a pass it was, I think, from Danilo. I don't think Soriano was offside. There's the centre-back coming forward. Perfect pass in behind Calabria. It's probably missing that near post. But once again, Donnarumma down quickly. Gets a good hand to it.
Suddenly Milan are looking very nervous here. They're wobbling a bit under pressure. And Bologna know it. Moussa Barrow sends it over. Header away by Frank Kessie. Now perhaps a chance to break. No, one back in midfield by Poli once again, who finds Svanberg. And there's way too much on that, and all his teammates look so disappointed in the centre. It looked very, very promising. Here's that great ball from Danilo and the header from Soriano.
Yeah, that's what he does so well, Soriano. We've seen him on the ball be a creative player, but he can drift into the box. It's quite seen from an angle where was that creeping in at the near post. If it was, it's a great save.
Well, vitally important save from Donnarumma. On by Mandzukic. Flag up on the far side. And Salamakers will have to bring the ball back.
Well, they took a gamble, Bologna, squeezed up for offside as Ibrahimovic turned with it here. And he is offside. He had a lot of space, but Krunic was offside.
Well, it's going to be a fascinating final 5 minutes of this one. Vignato with the ball back into Sumuaro. Now Danilo. And Skov-Olsen. Palacio. Here's Poli, the goal scorer. Palacio, Svanberg. Barrow waits in the middle. Soriano causing problems. Wants a corner. And by the look on his face, I don't think has got it from the referee. Let's have a look whether that's the right call here.
Yeah, it comes back off the arm, I think, of Soriano. There's where Theo Hernandez lost the ball, then he slipped over. That meant Palacio had a couple of passes, a couple of options, and they proved to be the right options as well. Lovely little cutback from Skov-Olsen. His team now have a chance to get back in the game. Mihailovic.
A decent effort this from Bologna. Won by Tomiyasu in the air. Skov-Olsen sends it forward. Moussa Barrow now waits for support. Palacio in the centre, just beyond him, and it's headed behind by Calabria. Very nearly the opportunity there for Rodrigo Palacio in the centre. He was inches away.
Well, my initial response is, why didn't he dive? There was a chance for a diving header. What a cross that was from the centre-forward Barrow.
Bologna battering on the Milan door. And it's all hands on deck here for Milan. Skov-Olsen crafts the ball back into the box again, takes a touch on the way through. It's going to be another corner.
Donnarumma missed this one completely. Comes off Theo Hernandez. Tomiyasu's the closest player to it.
Milan really feeling the pressure now all of a sudden with 3 minutes to go. Referee says, hang on a minute, chaps. let's all just calm down a bit.
Soriano's probably saying, don't give them a warning. If they commit a foul, give a penalty. You've given 2 against us.
Romagnoli trying to keep tabs on Danilo, who's wandering around inside the box, and it goes. And Sumoaro going up with Donnarumma. Milan able to get the ball away to the halfway line. And Skov Olsen has inadvertently given it away, and Alexis Salamakers has found Ibrahimovic. Franck Kessie is racing ahead of him here. Ibrahimovic for Milan. Plenty of white shirts now venturing forward, but they'll have to settle for a throw off Danilo.
Oh, there's Kessie making that forward run again. This is where they wanted a free kick. Was there a little shove in the back? Well, I just don't think he jumps early enough. Sumoaro jumps earlier. Doesn't make too much contact with Donnarumma. He makes a real mess of it.
Goalkeepers just used to hearing the whistle, aren't they? Last 2 minutes of the game. Kessie. Calabria. Soriano doing everything he can to win it back. Milan have got the ball right where they want it. Salamakers looking for Ibrahimovic. Danilo's there, gets the free kick as well.
Yeah, for once, Ibrahimovic wasn't alive to the situation because it was a good ball played into him. And Danilo just got there before the sweep.
Andrea Skov Olsen finding Andrea Poli. Here's Soriano, who's been a key man for Bologna this season. Vignato.
Because it's a good ball played into him. And Danilo just got there before the sweep.
For Bologna this season. Vignato.
Because it's a good ball played into him. And Danilo just got there before the sweep.
He will be penalised here as well, Rodrigo Palacio. Referee Daniele Doveri saying he was waving his arms around too much there and clouting Calabria.
See, I'm not sure about that. Palacio is trying to shield the ball. He's trying to hold off the player, as you're allowed to do when you're in possession of the ball. That's why Mihajlovic has a little kick of the water bottle that's next to him.
Well, you can imagine what he's saying in response to that. It certainly breaks up the attacking flow from Bologna's point of view.
Well, probably 10 minutes ago, Fioli thought the game was dead and buried. They'd won it, 3 points. Good away performance, but it's been very nervy in the last 10 minutes.
Minimum of 4 minutes of added time. Ibrahimovic knocks it on, and Mandzukic into the penalty area it goes. Fortuitously falling at the feet of Salamakers, who was trying to get what would have been a third penalty of the day for his team. Palacio chasing. And Hernandez going to ground, easily under pressure. But you're not going to get a penalty for that, are you?
No, he's got his hands behind his back. His arms hits him on the arm, but it's not away from his body.
He was doing absolutely everything to get his arm out of the way, wasn't he? So we're in added time. Milan with a free kick. And Hernandez sends it forward. Salamakers stealing in. It's behind Mandzukic. Given away by Kessie. And Romagnoli there ahead of Palacio. Milan not quite over the line in this match yet. That'll be a free kick. Given away by Teo Hernandez on Rodrigo Palacio. And they've taken it quickly. The referees allowed them to do so. Skov Olsen now. Everybody back here for Milan. Palacio. Are we going to have some real late drama? It's a decent ball in as well under the circumstances. Donnarumma came, thought better of it, and then had a much easier catch than he might have expected.
Well, he's had a disappointing second half, hasn't he, Donnarumma? 3 or 4 crosses he's come for and hasn't really dealt with. Palacio certainly made a difference for Bologna. He's done really well since he's been on. There's another good cross into the box.
Milan not entirely convincing in this match. Forward by Emmanuel Vignato. Away from Salamakers. Poli. Tomiyasu. Into Skov Olsen. Not the pass that was needed at that moment in time. Every second is precious for Bologna here, but Milan venturing forward with Alexis Salamakers, the Belgian. A little over a minute remaining in added time. Milan's unbeaten away record set to stay intact on the cusp of victory. Hernandez rolls it in and Ibrahimovic looked to finish the job. Krunic going for it. Cleared away towards Palacio, won by Romagnoli. Kessi. Held up by Roberto Soriano. Really good play though by Kessi here. There's a pair of them end up on the floor in an untidy heap, but it was good play from Kessi, wasn't it, to keep Soriano at bay for so long.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how he has the free kick given against him. He steps across Soriano. Maybe he wasn't within playing distance of the ball. That's what the referee thought anyway.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen now, very, very quickly. No wonder Danilo is racing forward through the centre circle up towards the Milan penalty area. They need to get the ball forward now. Time is almost up. Matthias Svanberg has it. Oh, dear me, it's all rather undone, and Stefano Pioli knows that that's it, and there goes the final whistle, and Milan have hung on to win this match despite late pressure from Bologna, who scored through former Milan player Andrea Poli 9 minutes from the end, but they couldn't find an equalising goal despite the late pressure. Ante Rebic in the first half, Franck Kessi with a penalty 10 minutes into the second. Milan remain unbeaten at home. They increase their lead at the top of the table for a few hours at least, and they win for the 9th time away from home this season. They've beaten Bologna by 2-1. Well, let's take a look at the highlights, the first of which was provided by Theo Hernandez, who hit the crossbar just put there by the fingertips of Łukasz Skorupski, the goalkeeper.
Skorupski, I think, misjudged it. Theo Hernandez is trying to play this ball for the forwards that are running in. He gets underneath it, as did the goalkeeper, but he just got enough on it.
Milan causing most of the problems in the first half. Ibrahimovic denied here not once but twice by the brilliance of Skorupski, and then Sumaoro with an excellent defensive block on Romagnoli. But the danger wasn't cleared here by Bologna. The play still active, still under pressure from Milan, and in the end it proved to be too much. Rafael Leao just hauled back there by Mitchell Dykes. Penalty.
And it was a penalty. Mitchell Dykes got too close to Leao. Leao spat off of him. It's poor defending from Dykes. And then he just grabs hold of his arm and pulls him down. So there's the double save from Skorupski, brilliant from him. And he almost saved the penalty as well from Ibrahimovic, not one of the Swedes' better penalties.
Great stop from Skorupski, but Ante Rebic was the first to react and planted the ball back into the back of the Bologna net. Fine reaction there from Rebic, who clearly was outside the box when the kick was taken. But Bologna replied well in the latter stages of the first half. Soriano here in possession. Donnarumma was about to be busy, and Nicola Sansone almost finding a way past him.
Well, the pass from Soriano was a brilliant one. Played it between 3 or 4 Milan players. Calabria went to ground, but Donnarumma to the rescue.
And there was another opportunity before half-time as well. Sansone involved in the build-up here, finding Nicolas Dominguez, and Dominguez took that extra second, and Donnarumma was there again to make a vital save.
Yeah, this time he did go down a little bit earlier, and Dominguez tries to lift it over.
Front three along with Dybala and Ronaldo. Pjanic front three along with Dybala and Ronaldo. Pjanic, Quagliarella, both included. Ieri, the grand old man of Serie A. Forward by Pjanic. Astonishing, here's Pjanic. And they're trying to tee up Ronaldo. Dybala was caught there, you could hear. In from Augello! Oh, it's a little cheap. Oh, it's a great little pullback for Ronaldo, who wasn't expecting it. There was only one winner. Blocked by Rabiot. He jumped in to win it there, Gaston. And off that a little bit for Rabiot, and here's Ronaldo. It's a poor pass that from Rabiot. Winning campaigns, which is some achievement. Play from well read that by Maya Yoshida. And that's there's Linetti. Something that is a plan that could yet go seriously wrong for Juventus. Gentlemen, after the defeat in the Lanterna by Genoa. Foot was high from Rabiot. I know he... Pjanic style pass there for Matuidi, who lifts it towards Ronaldo, who is penalised for the leverage in the leap.
Well, you can see him complaining. He gets up.
Last time Sampdoria drifted in. First touch for Lloris. All hands to the pump. 3 and 84 in Serie A for Juventus. Fabio Quagliarella. Well, from Linetti, now Quagliarella driven wide. Oh, and that was a crunching challenge. Clash of heads there. Gaston Ramirez came flying in, and Danilo felt long towards Ronaldo. Juan Cuadrado. Something he loved because he was bored. It's always been his motivation, but tonight could be the night where he does win a really significant title. I thought Rabiot could have tried to get his head on that. Here's Bernardeschi.
I agree with you. Rabiot, timing of the run was perfect.
Dybala. Now, Alexandro. And now Juan Cuadrado. Now Cuadrado. Miss kick there from Cuadrado. This is Jakub Jankto trying to pick out Quagliarella, who didn't catch it at all. Chances are coming now for Sam.
Well, that's a surprising thing. You're quite right that Quagliarella didn't get a clean.
Naturally, that could be it. That could be the campaign, you know. Go back to playing just every week. Here's Ronaldo. Can he find some space? He can, but couldn't find the quality.
Couldn't quite keep it down.
It's one back by Pjanic, and dangerous amount of space for him. There's Ronaldo to tee it up for Bernardeschi. Blocked by Audero. That was better from Juve. Moment. There's Gaston Ramirez. Swiftly days. Now Rabiot. Yeah, trip there by Torsby.
Good run again from Rabiot.
Bernardeschi's there as well. It's Bernardeschi who hits it.
Ronaldo, Dybala.
Now Rabiot. Going to power away from Tonelli. Had his shirt tugged. There's another of those professional fouls. Ian Pjanic. Pjanic, clever! Really clever! They switched it And Ronaldo fires home. And Juve take a giant. Is 45. Carol Linetti to rather underhit that. An irony if they could just control this and win it that way. Nice thing about Ranieri is he's keenly competitive. Of course, it's left for Pjanic to stroke it in. Oh, both Ronaldo and Higuain were very close. That's dangerous. Stabbed just wide by Lloris. In from Gaston Ramirez. Had it got a touch, I think it would have been one. Early on the overlap. It's a really good ball in, and Gaston Ramirez didn't catch the header for the second time in the game as he would have wanted.
He's had another opportunity. I think it's actually come off his shoulder.
Yep. Got that forward quickly, Tonelli, but a little too quickly maybe. Ronaldo just backing off in there, but good defense options here. And one of them is Cristiano Ronaldo, and Audero with the stop. There's Torsby in the first half. It's another thing for coaches to think about. Ronaldo and Higuain. Anyway, the chance is gone. Yeah, that's about as... Space for him now, and Audero spills it! And Federico Bernardeschi, with his first goal in a year and a half, might just have won the title for Juve. Is that the moment of confirmation?
Breathing space. To say Ramirez is playing well, and of course Quagliarella, you'd...
Lloris to whip it in. Quagliarella's header pushed away brilliantly by Sanchez. Kept his run going here.
Here we see it. De Pauli gets the ball from an excellent pass from Ramirez.
Terrible slip there, but Pjanic was caught by Torsby. And he's off. And Samp will have to play the rest of the game now. And on that crazy night here from Atalanta too, they've withstood it all. There's space here for Rabiot. Look at there he is, Ronaldo. Linetti was caught, was he? No, by Ben. To make absolutely sure of 9 in a row. And off the crossbar it goes, and it might just... Gonna go on his own. He's front 3 along with Dybala and Ronaldo, Pjanic, Quagliarella, both included. Ieri, the grand old man of Serie A. Forward by Pjanic. Astonishing, here's Pjanic. And they're trying to tee up Ronaldo. Dybala was caught there, you could hear. In from Augello. Oh, it's a little cheap. Oh, it's a great little pullback for Ronaldo, who wasn't expecting it. There was only one winner. Blocked by Rabiot. He jumps in to win it there, Gaston. And off that a little bit for Rabiot, and here's Ronaldo. It's a poor pass that from Rabiot. Winning campaigns, which is some achievement. Play from well read that by Maya Yoshida. And that's there's Linetti. Something that is a plan that could yet go seriously wrong for Juve. Gentlemen, after the defeat in the Lanterna by Genoa. high from Rabiot. I know he... Pjanic style pass there for Matuidi, who lifts it towards Ronaldo, who is penalised for the leverage in the lead.
Well, you can see him complaining. He gets...
Last time Sampdoria drifted in. First touch for Lloris. All hands to the pump. 3 and 84 in Serie A for Juventus. Fabio Quagliarella. Well, there from Linetti, now Quagliarella driven wide. Oh, and that was a crunching challenge. Clash of heads there. Gaston Ramirez came flying in, and Danilo felt long towards Ronaldo. Juan Cuadrado. Something he loved because he was bored. It's always been his motivation, but tonight could be the night where he does win a really significant title. I thought Rabiot could have tried to get his head on that. Here's Bernardeschi.
I agree with you. Rabiot, timing of the run was perfect.
Dybala. Now, Alexandro. Now Juan Cuadrado. Now Cuadrado. Miss kick there from Cuadrado. This is Jakub Jankto trying to pick out Quagliarella, who didn't catch it at all. Chances are coming now for Sam.
Well, that's a surprising thing. You're quite right that Quagliarella didn't get a clean.
Naturally, that could be it. That could be the campaign. You know, go back to playing just every week. Here's Ronaldo. Can he find some space? He can, but couldn't find the quality.
Couldn't quite keep it down.
Run back by Pjanic, and dangerous amount of space for him. There's Ronaldo to tee it up for Bernardeschi. Blocked by Audero. That was better from Juve. Moment. There's Gaston Ramirez. Swiftly days. Now Rabiot. Yeah, trip there by Torsby.
Good run again from Rabiot.
Bernardeschi's there as well. It's Bernardeschi who hits it.
Now Dybala.
Now Rabiot. Trying to power away from Tonelli. Had his shirt tugged. There's another of those professional fouls. Ian Pjanic. Pjanic clever. Really clever. They switched it. And Ronaldo fires home. And Juve take a giant. Is 45. Now Carol Linetti to rather underhit that. An irony if they could just control this and win it that way. Nice thing about Ranieri is he's keenly competitive. Of course, it's left for Pjanic to stroke it in. Oh, both Ronaldo and Higuain were very close. That's dangerous, stabbed just wide by Lloris. In from Gaston Ramirez. Had it got a touch, I think it would have been one. Early on the overlap. It's a really good ball in, and Gaston Ramirez didn't catch the header for the second time in the game as he would have wanted.
He's had another opportunity. I think it's actually come off his shoulder.
Yeah. Got that forward quickly, Tonelli, but a little too quickly maybe. Ronaldo just backing off in there, but good defense options here. And one of them is Cristiano Ronaldo, and Audero with the stop. There's Torsby in the first half. It's another thing for coaches to think about. Ronaldo and Higuain. Anyway, the chance is gone. Yeah, that's about as... Space for him now, and Audero spills it! And Federico Bernardeschi with his first goal in a year and a half, might just have won the title for Juve. Is that the moment of confirmation?
Breathing space. To say Ramirez is playing well, and of course Quagliarella, you'd...
Reese to whip it in. Quagliarella's header pushed away brilliantly by Sanchez. Kept his run going here.
Here we see it. De Pauli gets the ball from an excellent pass from Ramirez.
Terrible slip there, but Pjanic was caught by Torsby. And he's off. And Samp will have to play the rest of the game now. And on that crazy night here from Atalanta too, they've withstood it all. Little space here for Rabiot. Look at there he is, Ronaldo. Linetti was caught, was he? No, by Ben. To make absolutely sure of 9 in a row, and off the crossbar it goes, and it might just go on his own. He's front 3 along with Dybala and Ronaldo, Pjanic, Quagliarella, both included. Ieri, the grand old man of Serie A. Forward by Pjanic. Astonishing, here's Pjanic. And they're trying to tee up Ronaldo. Dybala was caught there, you could hear. In from Augello. Oh, it's a little cheap. Oh, it's a great little pullback for Ronaldo, who wasn't expecting it. There was only one winner. Blocked by Rabiot. He comes in to win it there, Gaston. And off that a little bit for Rabiot, and here's Ronaldo. It's a poor pass that from Rabiot. Winning campaigns, which is some achievement. Play from well read that by Maya Yoshida. And that's there's Linetti. Something that is a plan that could yet go seriously wrong for Juventus. Gentlemen, after the defeat in the Lanterna by Genoa. Foot was high from Rabiot. I know he Pjanic style pass there for Matuidi, who lifts it towards Ronaldo, who is penalised for the leverage in the leap.
Well, you can see him complaining. He gets up.
Last time Sampdoria drifted in. First touch for Larice. All hands to the pump. 3 and 84 in Serie A for Juventus. Fabio Quagliarella. Well, from Linetti, now Quagliarella driven wide. Oh, and that was a crunching challenge. Clash of heads there. Gaston Ramirez came flying in, and Danilo felt long towards Ronaldo. Juan Cuadrado. Something he loved because he was bored. It's always been his motivation, but tonight could be the night where he does win a really significant title. I thought Rabiot could have tried to get his head on that. Here's Bernardeschi.
I agree with you. Rabiot, timing of the run was perfect.
Dybala. Now, Alexandro. Now Juan Cuadrado. Now Cuadrado. Miss kick there from Cuadrado. This is Jakub Jankto trying to pick out Quagliarella, who didn't catch it at all. Chances are coming now for Sam.
Well, that's a surprising thing. You're quite right that Quagliarella didn't get a clean.
Naturally, that could be it. That could be the campaign, you know. Go back to playing just every week. Here's Ronaldo. Can he find some space? He can, but couldn't find the quality.
Couldn't quite keep it down.
It's one back by Pjanic, and dangerous amount of space for him. There's Ronaldo to tee it up for Bernardeschi. Blocked by Audero. That was better from Juve. Moment. There's Gaston Ramirez. Swiftly days. Now Rabiot. Yeah, trip there by Torsby.
Good run again from Rabiot.
Bernardeschi's there as well. It's Bernardeschi who hits it.
Ronaldo, Dybala.
Now Rabiot. Trying to power away from Tonelli. Had his shirt tugged. There's another of those professional fouls. Ian Pjanic. Pjanic, clever! Really clever! They switched it. And Ronaldo fires home. And Juve take a giant. Is 45. Now Carol Linetti to rather underhit that. An irony if they could just control this and win it that way. Nice thing about Ranieri is he's keenly competitive. Of course, it's left for Pjanic to stroke it in. Oh, both Ronaldo and Higuain were very close. That's dangerous. Stabbed just wide by Lloris. In from Gaston Ramirez. Had it got a touch, I think it would have been one. Early on the overlap. It's a really good ball in, and Gaston Ramirez didn't catch the header for the second time in the game as he would have wanted.
He's had another opportunity. I think it's actually come off his shoulder. Yep.
He got that forward quickly, Tonelli, but a little too quickly maybe. Ronaldo just backing off in there, but good defense options here. And one of them is Cristiano Ronaldo, and Audero with the stop. There's Torsby in the first half. It's another thing for coaches to think about. Ronaldo and Higuain. Anyway, the chance is gone. Yeah, that's about as... Space for him now, and Audero spills it! And Federico Bernardeschi, with his first goal in a year and a half, might just have won the title for Juve. Is that the moment of confirmation?
Breathing space. To say Ramirez is playing well, and of course Quagliarella, you'd...
Lloris to whip it in. Quagliarella's header pushed away brilliantly by Sanchez. Kept his run going here.
Here we see it. De Pauli gets the ball from an excellent pass from Ramirez.
Terrible slip there, but Pjanic was caught by Torsby. And he's off. And Samp will have to play the rest of the game now. Then on that crazy night here from Atalanta too, they've withstood it all. Bit of space here for Rabiot. Look at there he is, Ronaldo. Linetti was caught, was he? No, by Ben. To make absolutely sure of 9 in a row. And off the crossbar it goes, and it might just go on his own. He's front 3 along with Dybala and Ronaldo, Pjanic, Quagliarella, both included. Ieri, the grand old man of Serie A. Forward by Pjanic. Astonishing, here's Pjanic. And they're trying to tee up Ronaldo. Dybala was caught there, you could hear. In from Augello! Oh, it's a little... Oh, it's a great little pullback for Ronaldo, who wasn't expecting it. There was only one winner. Blocked by Rabiot. He jumps in to win it there, Gaston. And off that a little bit for Rabiot, and here's Ronaldo. It's a poor pass that from Rabiot. Winning campaigns, which is some achievement. Play from well read that by Maya Yoshida. And that's there's Linetti. Something that is a plan that could yet go seriously wrong for Juventus. Gentlemen, after the defeat in the Lanterna by Genoa. Foot was high from Rabiot. I know he Pjanic style pass there for Matuidi, who lifts it towards Ronaldo, who is penalised for the leverage in the leap.
Well, you can see him complaining. He gets up.
Last time Sampdoria drifted in. First touch for Lloris. All hands to the pump. 3 and 84 in Serie A for Juventus. Fabio Quagliarella. Well, from Linetti, now Quagliarella driven wide. Oh, and that was a crunching challenge. Clash of heads there. Gaston Ramirez came flying in, and Danilo felt long towards Ronaldo. Juan Cuadrado. Something he loved because he was bored. It's always been his motivation, but tonight could be the night where he does win a really significant title. I thought Rabiot could have tried to get his head on that. Here's Bernardeschi.
I agree with you. Rabiot's timing of the run was perfect.
Dybala. Now, Alexandro. And now Juan Cuadrado. Now Cuadrado. Miss kick there from Cuadrado. This is Jakub Jankto trying to pick out Quagliarella, who didn't catch it at all. Chances are coming now for Sam.
Well, that's a surprising thing. You're quite right that Quagliarella didn't get a clear.
Naturally, that could be it. That could be the campaign. You know, go back to playing just every week. Here's Ronaldo. Can he find some space? He can, but couldn't find the quality.
Couldn't quite keep it down.
One back by Pjanic, and dangerous amount of space for him. There's Ronaldo to tee it up for Bernardeschi. Blocked by Audero. That was better from Juve. Moment. There's Gaston Ramirez. Swiftly days. Now Rabiot. Yeah, tripped there by Torsby.
Good run again from Rabiot.
Bernardeschi's there as well. It's Bernardeschi who hits it.
Dybala.
Now Rabiot. Trying to power away from Tonelli. He had his shirt tugged. There's another of those professional fouls. Ian Pjanic. Pjanic, clever! Really clever! They switched it. And Ronaldo fires home. And Juve take a giant. Is 45. Now Carol Linetti to rather underhit that. An irony if they could just control this and win it that way. Nice thing about Ranieri is he's keenly competitive. Of course, it's left for Pjanic to stroke it in. Oh, both Ronaldo and Higuain were very close. That's dangerous, stabbed just wide by Lloris. In from Gaston Ramirez. Had it got a touch, I think it would have been one. Early on the overlap. It's a really good ball in, and Gaston Ramirez didn't catch the header for the second time in the game as he would have wanted.
He's had another opportunity. I think it's actually come off his shoulder. Yeah.
Got that forward quickly, Tonelli, but a little too quickly maybe. Ronaldo just backing off in there, but good defense. Options here. And one of them is Cristiano Ronaldo, and Audero with the stop. There's Torsby in the first half. It's another thing for coaches to think about. Ronaldo and Higuain. Anyway, the chance is gone. Yep, that's about as... Space for him now, and Audero spills it! And Federico Bernardeschi, with his first goal in a year and a half, might just have won the title for Juve. Is that the moment of confirmation?
Breathing space. To say Ramirez is playing well, and of course Quagliarella, you'd...
Lloris to whip it in. Quagliarella's header pushed away brilliantly by Sanchez. Kept his run going here.
Here we see it. De Pauli gets the ball from an excellent pass from Ramirez.
Terrible slip there, but Pjanic was caught by Torsby. And he's off. And Samp will have to play the rest of the game now. Then on that crazy night here from Atalanta too, they've withstood it all. There's space here for Rabiot. Look at there he is, Ronaldo. Linetti was caught, was he? No, by Ben. To make absolutely sure of 9 in a row, and off the crossbar it goes, and it might just gonna go on his own. He's front 3 along with Dybala and Ronaldo, Pjanic, Quagliarella, both included. Ieri, the grand old man of Serie A. Forward by Pjanic. Astonishing, here's Pjanic. And they're trying to tee up Ronaldo. Dybala was caught there, you could hear. In from Augello. Oh, it's a little cheek. Oh, it's a great little pullback for Ronaldo, who wasn't expecting it. There was only one winner. Blocked by Rabiot. He jumps in to win it there, Gaston. And off that a little bit for Rabiot, and here's Ronaldo. It's a poor pass that from Rabiot. Winning campaigns, which is some achievement. Play from well read that by Maya Yoshida. And that's there's Linetti. Something that is a plan that could yet go seriously wrong for Juventus. Gentlemen, after the defeat in the Lanterna by Genoa. Foot was high from Rabiot. I know he... Pjanic style pass there for Matuidi, who lifts it towards Ronaldo, who is penalised for the leverage in the leap.
Well, you can see him complaining. He gets up.
Last time Sampdoria drifted in. First touch for Lloris. All hands to the pump at 3 and 84 in Serie A for Juventus. Fabio Quagliarella. Well, from Linetti, now Quagliarella driven wide. Oh, and that was a crunching challenge. Clash of heads there. Gaston Ramirez came flying in, and Danilo felt long towards Ronaldo. Juan Cuadrado. Something he loved because he was bored. It's always been his motivation, but tonight could be the night where he does win a really significant title. I thought Rabiot could have tried to get his head on that. Here's Bernardeschi.
I agree with you. Rabiot's timing of the run was perfect.
Dybala. Now, Alexandro. And now Juan Cuadrado. Now Cuadrado. Miss kick there from Cuadrado. This is Jakub Jankto trying to pick out Quagliarella, who didn't catch it at all. Chances are coming now for Sam.
Well, that's a surprising thing. You're quite right that Quagliarella didn't get a clean.
Naturally, that could be it. That could be the campaign, you know. Go back to playing just every week. Here's Ronaldo. Can he find some space? He can, but couldn't find the quality.
Couldn't quite keep it down.
Run back by Pjanic, and dangerous amount of space for him. There's Ronaldo to tee it up for Bernardeschi. Blocked by Audero. That was better from Juve. Moment. There's Gaston Ramirez. Swiftly days. Now Rabiot. Yeah, tripped there by Torsby.
Good run again from Rabiot.
Bernardeschi's there as well. It's Bernardeschi who hits it.
Ronaldo, Dybala.
Now Rabiot. Trying to power away from Tonelli. Had his shirt tugged. There's another of those professional fouls. Ian Pjanic. Pjanic, clever! Really clever! They switched it. And Ronaldo fires home. And Juve take a giant. Is 45. Well, Carol Linetti to rather underhit that. An irony if they could just control this and win it that way. Nice thing about Ranieri is he's keenly competitive. Of course, it's left for Pjanic to stroke it in. Oh, both Ronaldo and Higuain were very close. That's dangerous. Stabbed just wide by Lloris. In from Gaston Ramirez. Had it got a touch, I think it would have been one. Early on the overlap. It's a really good ball in, and Gaston Ramirez didn't catch the header for the second time in the game as he would have wanted.
He's had another opportunity. I think it's actually come off his shoulder.
Yeah. Got that forward quickly, Tonelli, but a little too quickly maybe. Ronaldo just backing off in there, but good defense. Options here. And one of them is Cristiano Ronaldo, and Audero with the stop. There's Torsby in the first half. It's another thing for coaches to think about. Ronaldo and Higuain. Anyway, the chance is gone. Yeah, that's about as... Space for him now, and Audero spills it! And Federico Bernardeschi, with his first goal in a year and a half, might just have won the title for Juve. Is that the moment of confirmation?
Breathing space. To say Ramirez is playing well, and of course Quagliarella,
Race to whip it in! Quagliarella's header pushed away brilliantly by Sanchez. Kept his run going here.
Here we see it. De Pauli gets the ball from an excellent pass from Ramirez.
Terrible slip there, but Pjanic was caught by Torsby. And he's off. And Samp will have to play the rest of the game now. And on that crazy night here from Atalanta too, they've withstood it all. There's space here for Rabiot. Look at there he is, Ronaldo. Linetti was caught, was he? No, by Ben. To make absolutely sure of 9 in a row. And off the crossbar it goes, and it might just go on his own. He's front 3 along with Dybala and Ronaldo, Pjanic, Quagliarella, both included. Yeri, the grand old man of Serie A. Forward by Pjanic. Astonishing, here's Pjanic. And they're trying to tee up Ronaldo. Dybala was caught there, you could hear. In from Augello! Oh, it's a little cheap. Oh, it's a great little pullback for Ronaldo, who wasn't expecting it. There was only one winner. Blocked by Rabiot.
Just a gorgeous goal.
Certainly in the near future. Will it be his day? It'll be Quagliarella and Keita Balde to get things underway here. Keita Balde scored against Juve for the Lazio youth teams, but never in a senior game. Looks like he's been in the mood in recent weeks, and mercurial though he is, we know just how good he can be at his best. And he's caught straight away there, Keita Balde. Clumsy challenge. Bentancur it was.
Well, most certainly was. Clearly comes straight through, and Bentancur just bends over, and of course Keita Balde goes straight over the top. Landing didn't look good, but he's up, he's okay.
Wonder if Chiellini saw that as a free one in the opening 30 seconds.
I think free ones are no more.
Well, that one was. There's Augello. It's the 126th Serie A meeting between them. Samp, 26 wins. Bottom of the table when Ranieri took over in October 2019, and it's been a real success story since then. Wasn't the most popular appointment, but he's done a good job, and he wins friends, Claudio Ranieri, wherever he seems to go.
Well, they were in all sorts of trouble, weren't they, before he came, but he steadied the ship. So much experience, and now look at them, comfortably mid-table and playing some good stuff.
Defending to do early. Quick feet there of Chiesa, now Ronaldo. And here's Artur, fresh from his first Serie A goal last weekend. Well, that's forward swiftly towards McKennie.
Excellent defending though from Colli. McKennie onto the pass, first time from Bonucci, but Colli strong, just ushers the ball over the line.
Emil Audero first sat on the Juventus bench, which is where he largely spent his time. A derby game against Torino when Buffon was out with the flu. Storari was in goal. Pirlo scored a late winner, and Audero was out there on the pitch hugging him. And he said that he hopes that he's hugging him after this game in sympathy after a defeat. See how it goes, eh? Here's Danilo. Looking to thread it for the dangerous Morata. He's been in good form of late. Alvaro Morata.
A couple of times already. You can see how quickly Juventus are trying to find that runner into the channel. Nice and positive. Hit Spal in the Coppa Italia in midweek. Their attitude was spot on. Played with a high tempo right from the start, and here they started well.
Yeah, they looked really sharp, really lively. In fact, they started brilliantly against Samp in the first half hour of that opening game of the season, and I think everyone raised an eyebrow and said, wow, this is Pirlo's Juve, this is different. And that was as well as they played really in the opening 10 match days.
We expect a lot, don't we? Yes, they didn't quite kick on in the same manner, but they're certainly starting to improve. The last few weeks, it's just trying to get the right balance, isn't it? I think certainly in midfield, Artur hasn't been the huge success that they would have hoped straight off the bat.
Long towards Morata. Yeah, they've won 7 of their last 8 in all competitions since that awful 3-0 home defeat. Inexplicable, really, against Fiorentina of all teams. And the only game in which they let themselves down in this recent run was the trip to Inter, where Pirlo admitted they just didn't turn up. So they didn't set foot on the pitch, in his words. Here's Chiesa up against Bereshinski today, who might have his hands full here. Behind Cuadrado, you can see where he wanted it played, and he's making that point quite clearly.
He made the run in behind Ogello. The ball, unfortunately, was played behind him. Chiesa, he's just such a danger. Once he cuts inside on that right foot and everything opens up in front of him.
Ogello with the throw. Kenny winning the header. One more goal and Weston McKennie will be the highest ever scoring American player in Serie A. Good quick feet from Bereshinski, trying to get Samp onto the front foot, and it falls kindly for Adrian Silva. Just couldn't control the shot at all.
Bereshinski down the right-hand side does really well. Danilo, poor defending. He looks up. The cross is a good one as well. Szczesny makes a decent punch, but you have to try and stick that in the top corner. Or Rosed. It was the latter.
Saw plenty of it, didn't he, there? And for an excellent technical player such as him, that was quite a disappointing effort, I thought.
Not an easy skill. It comes, a long way out. You certainly want to give it some power, but should have done slightly better for sure.
Here's Ronaldo. Now Morata. Since Sampdoria returned to Serie A in 2012-13, they've never won a fixture. In week 20, the first day of the second half of the season, they've had some horror shows, including a 4-2 defeat in Turin 7 years ago, hammering by Lazio last season. Something about it that doesn't quite suit them. Here's Keita Balde. Now Augello.
Closing down of McKennie there was wonderful. Pirlo will be delighted, I think, with McKennie, the energy that he gives that midfield. And of course, he's weighed in with a few goals, so not only can he do the dirty work defensively, but he gets forward, times his runs well, and that's a goal or two from midfield.
Yeah, what a signing he's been. It was a strange one at the time, and it makes perfect sense now. It's a really good spot by one of the scouting team that he would fit in so well. Here's Bentancur. Danilo for Chiesa, again at pace, with force, with purpose. Adrian Silva. Now Quagliarella. Great man hustled off it by McKennie, but winning it back, and That used to be Fabio Quagliarella's kind of range. He was the master of the spectacular. Hasn't been in the last couple of years. Not from that range, anyway.
What you do know, of course, if there is an opportunity that might be a bit silly for some players, not him, because he's got great technique.
Because they're so memorable, those kind of goals, of course, your mind can play tricks on you and make you think they were more regular than they actually were. But there was a period a few seasons ago where it felt as if he scored one at least every month. Sort of goal of the month contender. I'm sure it wasn't that regular, but goodness me, there were some thrillers on that.
Well, no doubt his goal reel will be pretty impressive and rather long and longer than many players.
Also had that ability that Luis Muriel has these days in Serie A to seemingly get the ball to dip impossibly at the last moment and hit the net almost at a strange angle. Incredible technical skill. This guy's got it too, of course. Here's Cuadrado. Bentancur to switch the play for Chiesa. And then laid back for the strike by Danilo. Scored that splendid goal against Sassuolo, so nothing wrong with him going for goal from there.
Just sliced it off the right side of his boot, but the way that Juve are knocking this ball around with intent, with pace, they really are putting their foot on the pedal straight away, playing at a very high tempo. And it's interesting that you think Maurizio Sarri, of course, come to Juventus to try and change things and get the team playing quicker. Well, it just never happened, but certainly Pirlo now, I think, has got them playing at least a good bit quicker than Maurizio Sarri ever did.
The hipsters will be exploding. They're playing Sarri ball under Pirlo. What next? What do you call it? No, it's not quite Sarri ball, but it's been very easy on the eye these opening 10 minutes. Here goes McKennie trying to run in behind Morten Thorsby. The slick surface is helping Juve as well. Just broke down there at the last moment. Just doing some sums with regard to Fabio Quagliarella. Only 3 players have scored in each of the last 10 Serie A seasons. He's one of them. I think the other answers are slightly unpredictable. Don't worry, Tony, don't panic. I'm not going to quiz you.
I wasn't going to give you the answers, don't worry.
Here's Keita Balde. Now Candreva just left the ball behind. It was a promising position. Here's Cuadrado. That rain's just getting a little bit heavier.
Pitch surface still looks fine, though, doesn't it? The ball is moving nice and quickly.
Ronaldo now to try and attack Yoshida. Bentancur. Now Danilo. And behind Cuadrado again. Yeah, in case I forget, going back to those names, a goal in each of the last 10 seasons in Serie A. Quagliarella's the one you would get. The others, Josip Ilicic, which when you stop and think about it makes sense, and Jack Bonaventura. Scored in each of the last 10 Serie A seasons and only those 3. Quite surprised by that list.
Sampdoria at the moment just can't get on the ball, can they? They're just closing them down very quickly. So instead, Claudio Ranieri's men are getting in their positions. They're 4-4-2, keeping it nice and tight, trying to just not allow any space that Juve can play in.
Here's Chiesa. Now it's Artur. Rodrigo Bentancur. Slipped in now to Weston McKennie, pulling it back towards Ronaldo. Ekdal had to be really careful, but did enough without fouling him.
But once again, really good, quick, slick play. Just behind Ronaldo. Sure he would have hit it first time if he could.
Now Morata chasing.